on an all-new Dr. Phil.
Would you rather have a B that you earned or an A that you stole?
I'd rather have the A.
The pressure to succeed.
I'm going to show you some of the latest cheating techniques that kids are using.
It's causing some students
Kids have resorted to drugs like Adderall. I use it as a study tool.
to do whatever it takes.
What do you tell your kids about cheating?
I tell them that life is a gray area.
I can't believe my ears. This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
It matters to you. That's what I want to talk about. We ready in the booth? Let's do it. Go, Dr. Phil. We're going to start the show today a little differently because we had an audience experiment. Okay? And this was, you guys all went through something. You didn't know it was an experiment, but it was. Before the show, we had our audience answer a questionnaire to test their knowledge of the Dr. Phil show for a chance to win a very special prize. But what they didn't know is that we were watching their every move. We wanted to see what people were willing to do to win when they think no one is looking. Take a look.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Dr. Phil Show. My name is Jessica, and I worked on one of the shows you're going to see today. And you're really lucky you came today because we are doing a quiz for Dr. Phil's biggest fan. So what we're going to do is have you guys go into these booths over here, and you're going to get a card like this with a quick quiz about Dr. Phil and the show. There's 5 questions on here, and the first person to get all of the questions right that we draw out of the box is going to win a really special prize.
We posted a sign for the contest, and it clearly read, only 1 entry per person and no third-party help. Now, most people came in and gave it their best shot. And what is going on here? She appears to be taking an extra test with her, folding it up tightly and putting it in her purse. And what do we have here? A cheat sheet. I wonder if they were working together. Ah, and this young man. Oh, technology. All the answers right at your fingertips. And that's what we caught on tape. Okay. Now, now, does anybody want to fess up? Stand up. You what?
I didn't see the slide where you put the card on the top of the box. So I thought you were supposed to open it. And I thought, yeah.
Okay, stand. Are you know him? Yeah. Here, stand up. Do you know this young man?
Yes.
And you've known him for 100% of his life?
Yeah, 17
100% of his life. Uh-huh.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, well, all right, have a seat. Now, anybody else want to fess up? I got more tape. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about cheating. Now, obviously, this is a small thing. This is like a white lie. But it can get very serious. But we did use you guys as guinea pigs. So just as a thank you, I want to give everybody in the audience a $50 gift certificate to California Pizza Kitchen. Okay? You get to park the car, and you get $100 because you're going to need it. Are you a cheater? Is it cheating to lie to your boss and take a sick day for a day off? Yes. How many of you have called in sick when you weren't? Raise your hand. How about telling your child to lie about their age for a discount? Now, he's pointing at you now. So, did you corrupt this young man at the movies?
Don't believe him, Dr. Phil.
Is it cheating to keep the change if a clerk gives you the wrong amount of change? How about borrowing a handicap sign for a better parking spot? But let's talk about cheating in school. Cheating to win a contest. I want you to meet my first guest who did exactly that and got caught in a very high-profile way.
The teaching career of 43-year-old Jerry Flecky is in serious doubt tonight. Flecky, who resigned as coach of the controversial Steinmetz academic decathlon team last week, is now suspended from his teaching job as well because he admitted that he directed his team members to cheat during a competition last year.
Cheating is a serious infraction in any educational institution, and it's something that I will not tolerate in this system.
It seems as if people are questioning our morals.
The charges of cheating stem from a member of last year's Steinmetz team. Former team captain Angela Lamb admits she was given the answers to questions on a super quiz by her former coach, Jerry Flecky.
Now I hope a larger message is spread that integrity and morality are more important than winning a contest.
Okay, now, is there any question that you cheated?
No.
So you cheated? You knew you were cheating when you cheated?
Yes.
Okay, you got a copy of the test, right?
We got a copy of the test questions, yes.
And a group of you looked them up, memorized the answers, went in and aced it.
Yes.
Did you win?
Yes.
Really? Okay, and this was a competition with other schools?
Yes.
Okay, and y'all won for the first time ever, right?
Right.
How'd you get caught?
One of our team members had a guilty conscience and confessed.
Just outed the whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And when you found out that you had been ratted out, did you panic?
No. No, we were upset, to say the least, with him. But, no, we didn't panic because it was his word against ours.
Oh, so you then lied on top of cheating.
Mm-hmm.
So he said it, and you guys stuck together?
There were 9 of us who stuck together.
And called him a liar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he did the right thing and told the truth. So in addition to cheating...
But then he went back and changed his story again. When he confessed, and he wrote an essay, he confessed. We said, no, he's crazy. Then he said, oh, no, it was just fiction. So he changed his story again. So the 9 of us stuck together and just never admitted it. Well, eventually it got blown out of proportion because really it wasn't quite as big of a deal as it turned into. And they brought in lawyers, and after threatening deportation to one of our team members, someone else confessed to cheating.
So the one who told the truth and was called a liar now had someone to corroborate it.
Right.
So now you were caught.
Right.
All right. When we come back, I'm going to ask her how she feels about that now and what she says to her kids about cheating. I think you may be shocked at the answer. Okay, you got caught. Lawyers got involved. The victory was taken away. People were impacted. Are you sorry about this?
No, not really.
So you have no remorse about this whatsoever?
No, not really, other than getting caught.
Wow. So tell me how you justify this in your mind. Because if I'm a student at one of these other schools, and I'm over there studying and not going out on weekends and staying up late at night and drilling and taking notes and figuring everything out, and then you waltz in there with a copy of the answers, I really feel cheated. It's not that you cheated the test. If I'm that kid, you cheated me.
Well, first, we didn't have a copy of the answers. We had a copy of the questions. No, that makes a world of difference because you actually have to know the answers then. We did not ace the test. We got stuff wrong. You're never going to be perfect. Unless you get a copy of the answers, you're not going to be
Well,
perfect.
you got it so right that it was statistically impossible to have scored that well.
But if you compare my test scores, not my team's, but my test scores that I got on the state championship to the test scores that I had been pulling all along, my scores were on par. So it's not...
I can't believe my ears.
No.
You're seriously trying to justify this is okay because you had to go look up the answers? That's like you go buy a lottery ticket and they say, well, you got to come around here and see what the right answers are before you fill it out.
Well, you asked
Well, I had
me-
to walk back there.
You asked me why I didn't feel guilty, and I'm trying to tell you why.
Because you had to look up the answers.
Well, we had to work together to figure out the answers.
You had the questions.
We did.
Was it an unfair advantage?
No, because we believe that another school who won for 15 years undefeated also had the questions for 15 years.
What do you tell your kids about cheating?
I tell them that life is a gray area. I tell them that every decision you make, you have to weigh the consequences either way.
Really?
Really.
So if they cheat, you're okay with that as long as they understand they could get caught?
Well, my problem with what we're talking about is cheating in school. And my problem with cheating in school is that when you go out into the real world, they're not going to put you in a room and say, here, do this task. Don't talk to anyone. Don't look anything up. Do it in an isolated situation. Every day we go to work and we have a boss to ask questions to. We have colleagues.
What if you're the boss?
The boss always has a boss.
What if you're the head engineer and I'm driving across the bridge you just built?
And that head engineer worked with lots of other people to get that done, didn't he?
We'll be right back. Jerry Marconi, the Cook County prosecutor that was involved in this case at the time, is joining us by Polycom. Jerry, thanks so much for joining us. You prosecuted this. You were the one involved at the time this happened, correct?
That's correct.
Now, you've been listening to Jolie's comments here saying, hey, you know, it wasn't really that big a deal. And I'm paraphrasing what you said, but you said it wasn't really that big a deal. I don't feel like we had an unfair advantage, et cetera, right? What do you say about that, Jerry?
Well, I would ask her, what about the thousands of other people who were embarrassed and their reputations were tarnished because a group of 10 people decided to cheat on a competition? This didn't affect her. It affected a lot of people. It affected an entire city because there were a lot of people that stuck up for this team initially and then later were proven wrong because it turned out that they were all cheaters.
Mm-hmm. What do you say to that? That the people at your school were embarrassed because now their school's been painted with a black brush, and the community that stood up for you then had egg on their face?
Unfortunately, that happened, and I'm sorry for anyone who feels like we betrayed them. But, Mr. Marconi, I remember being in that office with you. I suggest you watch very carefully what you say.
You lied to me. You told me you didn't cheat, and I believed you.
Do you have a bleep button so I can quote what he called me in that office?
Yeah, I have a bleep button. What did he call you?
Mr. Marconi, do you remember telling me that I was a bitch and that I was the ringleader and I better confess?
Absolutely not. I looked you in the eye and you told me you didn't cheat, and I believed you the first time.
You are so full of it.
Your principal was sitting right next to me when I was speaking to you.
You're right, because my mother should have been there, but you guys assured me that it wasn't necessary to have her there.
So, did he cheat?
I was a minor at the time.
Did he cheat you?
Did he cheat me?
Yeah. Did he mislead you? Did he give you false information?
No.
I mean, because you're describing yourself as a victim, like he misrepresented things to you, which would be cheating.
Mr. Marconi and I, he likes to play the good guy, and he's not always forthcoming.
You embarrassed an entire school. You tarnished the reputation of a school. You now have to go through life being the star of a movie called Cheaters. And when your kids ask you, well, Mom, why is this movie called Cheaters? You have to tell them, because I was a cheater. I'm the star of this movie. Now, why would you be proud of something like that?
Are you concerned about your kids?
Not at all.
So you're not concerned about them knowing that you cheated?
Not at all.
You concerned about knowing you got caught cheating?
That's the embarrassing part.
If you went to school and one of your kids had got caught cheating in the 5th grade, what would you say to them?
I would ask them why.
Why what?
Why did they cheat?
And?
Why did you cheat?
Because we wanted to win.
But here's the thing. Is it really a win if you didn't actually achieve, you didn't master it? I mean, like I play tennis almost every day. And if somebody wins by calling a ball out that was really in, I mean, did they really win? I mean, did they really step up to the challenge, put their skills up against an opponent, and come out on top because they played a better game, a smarter game, a higher skill level game? Did they really win, or did they just, I mean, if you're going to do that, just go down to the sporting goods store and buy a trophy. Engrave your name on it and put it up on the shelf and say, yeah, look at that. U.S. Open.
But if you go in and you play doubles with someone and the other person believes going in that they're going to lose. They believe going in they're going to lose. They suck. I'm no good at this. I don't even know. Oh, all right, I'll go play. And you know that they're capable of winning. And you know you're capable of winning. Do you sit there and go, yeah, you suck, or do you give them every advantage you can to get them to believe that they can win?
Not if it is, okay, here's the deal. Every time they hit a ball, we're going to call it out. That's the equivalent of what you're doing. Your question doesn't even make sense. You're saying you were just pumping these other 9 up by saying, hey, come on, we can do this. We have the questions and we looked up the answers. I mean, did you take pride in the win?
To a point. It wasn't as victorious for me as the previous ones.
Because you cheated on this one?
Because I knew that we could have done it without the test.
Huh. Jerry, what do you want to say?
Well, I think it's nothing but a fraud. And I think as soon as you start engaging in frauds, where do you draw the line? I mean, if you learn to do this in high school and it's no big deal, well, what happens when you get that first job? And like you said earlier, you lie in your resume. Guess what? You're going to get fired. You may lose a career. You can cheat on your taxes. You could cheat on your mortgage application. But then in the consequences for that is possible prison.
Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today throughout the show, Jerry. You're going to be pleased to know, because the statistics are that kids are cheating more and more every year. And parents, you need to know what's going on here. Whatever it takes for an A, even if it means taking drugs that put your brain on super high speed, it could be happening to your kids. We're going to talk about all of that when we come back.
Cheated. Copying homework is really popular, I know.
So many friends and even people I don't know have been coming up to me and asking if they can purchase my Adderall from me.
Maybe I'm not ready at 17 to make the choice of what I want to do with the rest of my life.
She would like to possibly do a gap year or maybe do a community service program instead and then go to college. And I think I'm having issues with it. How do you still support that?
That's a good question.
How do you move through this? Deep down inside, I don't want her to go. And she's picking up on that. I'm afraid.
You make it less about you, more about her, and you get in her balcony and you be her loudest fan. Okay. So what'd you decide? Did you go to college?
I am going to be a freshman at Boulder in a matter of a couple days. So.
In a matter of a couple of days?
Couple days, yeah.
All right. Are you concerned about it? Is there pressure?
I mean, there's obviously pressure. It's a new school, a new area, new people, and I think in order to just get used to that and then do really well, there's a lot of pressure there.
Yeah. And you know, there's an awful lot of kids abusing medications.
Right.
Some that they have by prescription, some that they get from their friends. And we wanted you to kind of ask some of your friends, some people about this. So we sent you out on a little bit of a mission to do some investigative reporting, right?
Yes.
Let's see what we found.
I'm
to talk to a couple of my friends about the pressures they face with school and the ways in which they cope with them.
I think it's just really easy to cheat these days because everyone has an iPhone or a BlackBerry, and there's so many search engines built onto the phone that if you don't know an answer to a question on a test, it's really easy to just type in the question and know the answer in 10 seconds.
I know a lot of girls, if they're wearing skirts, they'll write answers on their thigh and then during the test hike up their skirt and just look, because if you think about it, a teacher looks like a creep. You can't really look as a teacher, so it's kind of a secret way to get away with it.
Super sneaky. It's a good one.
I've definitely cheated. Copying homework is really popular, I know. I think that's the reason why a lot of kids have resorted to drugs like Adderall and Ritalin. I am actually prescribed Adderall. And so, for me, I use it as a study tool. So many friends and even people I don't know have been coming up to me and asking me if they can purchase my Adderall from me. And, you know, I think that's really, really showing of the pressures that our society now puts on us as high schoolers.
Okay, were you surprised at what you found out?
No, I wasn't.
Why?
I think I went to a public high school, and I mean, not only is it so competitive, especially now with the economy, all of a sudden people can't afford schools, so everyone's competing not only for the same schools, but for UCs. So that means you're competing on the same quiz, the same test, the same final. I mean, the pressure is definitely on an all-time high.
Okay, now you're Tasha, right?
Yes.
And you say you'll do anything to get a good grade.
Not will do, but have done.
Have done anything to get a
Yes.
grade. Let's talk about what that means.
Drugs. I am completely against drugs, but I have used them for purposes of studying.
What'd you take?
I've done Ritalin and Adderall. I've snorted lines, actually, which it's gotten to the point where I was taking so many pills and it was not allowing me to focus any longer. It was not keeping me awake. So I actually went to the extent of sniffing them, so it affected me faster. And actually,
Okay, so you were doing this to stay awake.
yes, like I said, I did not use these drugs for recreational purposes. It was all for studying, and it literally came to the point where I would be up all night studying for finals, and unless I took Adderall, I could not stay awake. I would pass out in the middle of the final. So it really came to the point where I had no other option but to use drugs.
Were you ever worried about that?
I'm extremely worried. Like, a lot of people say that taking these drugs is cheating, but think about it. Like she said, we are competing for these top UCs, and the money is just ridiculous right now. The economy is so down, no one has money. We are competing against the smartest people in the world, and when we've been studying all day and we still feel unprepared for that final in the morning, what are you gonna do? You're gonna cheat. You're gonna take that drug. You
Where does
have
this
no other
pressure come
option.
from?
Parents, professors,
I think ourselves,
other
too.
students. Yeah, ourselves. I mean, I know me personally, my brother-in-law and sister, who raised me a good portion of my childhood, are both UC Berkeley graduates. My sister was a valedictorian. I have a huge amount of pressure on me to do well because of them, but also, like she said, because of us. We have goals ourselves that we want to reach, and when we can't reach those goals, it's depressing.
What have you done besides take drugs?
I've studied my butt off, cheat sheets. I'll write down notes on a piece of paper, and I'll just slide it under my essay, and then kind of just flip under and look at the answers as I'm doing my test. I've done cell phones plenty of times, texting people, hey, what's the answer to this? Or going online on my phone and Googling the answer. I mean, there's so many ways to cheat.
But that's cheating.
It's cheating, but like I said, when I was up all night, imagine, okay, I took a final. I get home from school, I'm studying all day, I'm studying all night, I don't get a single hour of sleep. Not a single hour. I get up in the morning, I'm done studying, I've got to head to school, I'm like, I haven't showered, I haven't slept, and I'm still not prepared for this test. And I'm literally running off no sleep, and I'm high off Adderall, but I'm still not prepared. And I'm not going to go into that test unprepared, so I'm going to write down on a cheat sheet. I'm going to be prepared for that test.
Do you cheat?
What do you define as cheating? I copy homework, but I think everyone does that. I mean, there's a lot of busy work in high school.
That's, I think, the biggest thing, at least that even in talking to people that I saw, is homework. Because now teachers, you know, parents, everyone pushes now the sleep thing. You need 8 hours of sleep every night. Okay. Now, most people do after-school activities. You get home around 6. At my high school, you take about 7 classes. Each class requires about an hour and a half of homework every night. How am I supposed to do all of my homework? And a lot of times, personally that I've found, it's not homework that's helpful, it's busy work. How am I supposed to do all that, get my full sleep, and be ready to go to school the next day? It's hard.
When we come back, I'm going to show you some of the latest cheating techniques that kids are using. And I got to say, if they would put as much energy into the material, maybe, as they do these really innovative cheating techniques, I mean, these are smart kids. We'll be right back. All right, today we're talking about cheating, and the truth is that it is becoming more and more rampant. Now, some students will tell you that this is because there's no choice. There's just no choice. There's so much work, they just have to do it. And I wanted to look at some of the techniques that kids are coming up with. They remove the label and then scan answers to a test on the computer, put this through the printer, and they get the information with answers. So they sit in class, take a little drink, pull the label back, and go, blah, 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 blah. Have you all ever done this? You've done this?
That's funny. I've seen something like that done, but never actually done anything like that. That's really creative. I can't believe I've never thought of that. I need to use that one.
This is not a seminar. Okay, a pen. I mean, you got to have a pen, right? But the fact is, they take the pen, put paper inside the pen with answers on it, and when nobody's looking, just unroll it, and there it goes. Eraser, just simple eraser, right? But they open the eraser, paste the answers inside on the underside of the eraser, and then put it right back. Band-Aid, because you've been injured. But on the white portion of the Band-Aid, you can write everything that you want to know. Calculator programs that you use when you're doing math work, right? But these have memory functions, so you can put it in there, and if anybody walks up, you just hit the clear button and it's gone, and they don't know the code to pull it up. Glue stick, they just cut a square out of the label and put the answers in its place, then reassemble the label, turn the glue stick so they can view the answers in the back. Unbelievable. Now, Chris is here. Chris, you're a teacher. Are you a policeman as well?
I think something to add into the debate is our school year. Since No Child Left Behind, the school year, more is expected of the kids, but our school year is no longer. We're expecting more, but we're given no more time. As much as I love my summer vacation, it's probably a detriment to the kids. And they're competing. They're talking about competing against kids sitting in the next seat, but you're also competing against kids in other countries that go 20 and 30 more days of school a year. That's something else we need to think about as well.
Yeah, and isn't it true? I've always wondered, because when I was going to school, we had like a full 3 months off. And I guarantee you, by the time I went back to school in September, my brain was mush. I mean, I wasn't reading at the level I was reading at before. Because you use it or lose it, right?
And I saw that when I taught younger kids at elementary school, where you're doing the reading levels very specifically. You really see it. So whatever they left in June, they came back in September about 6 months behind. So not only did you lose the summer, but you lost September just catching up to where they were in June. I mean, we're losing a lot of school time this way.
But are teachers putting these kids in a no-win situation by assigning work they cannot possibly physically, logistically get done?
Absolutely. In fact, I give less and less homework knowing what other people are giving. Because and really, giving more homework doesn't make you a great teacher. It just means you've taken the responsibility and you've pushed it on at home. I thought, well, I can do it in the room. I'm pretty good at this now.
Well, Rich Jark is here, and he's the executive director of the Josephson Institute on Ethics. Are we seeing more cheating now, or is it just more apparent?
We're seeing a lot more now. We do a study every 2 years, and every year it goes up a little bit. 64% of the respondents in the survey said they cheated on a test in the last school year.
64%?
Yes.
Okay, and Jolie, that's what you're saying. You're saying you better cheat or you're not gonna compete, and you're saying 64% are cheating. Why is this happening?
Well, some people feel, as the young lady said, it's the pressure that they feel from their parents and from their peers. But a lot of it is the indifference of the school. And the schools, that you could ask them, if they get caught, they're not going to get punished. So, in essence, what you allow, you encourage.
I read a report recently, and you may know this or not, that said 80% of the students in Who's Who among American students, maybe college students, said at some time along the way they had significantly cheated. Does that shock you?
It doesn't shock me because we also do an adult survey, and what we found is that the adults who admit to cheating also admit that they cheated when they were in high school. So there's a high correlation. Cheating in high school, cheating as an adult.
Yeah. Okay. Bria, you say you've never cheated, and this frustrates you.
It does. It frustrates me a lot, especially because when I was in high school or even middle school, I had some learning disabilities, and so that was really frustrating, like growing up, and then also being in college and having worked on a paper for 2-3 weeks, meeting with the professor, going through dual diligence to try to make sure that my paper is an A paper, and then having somebody be able to take Adderall just a night before and get it all done and get, you know, maybe an A- on the paper.
But Rich, she's in the minority here.
That's correct.
We're talking 36% don't cheat.
Right.
So what do we do with this?
What we have to do is, one, we have to start invoking consequences when people do cheat, and we actually have to try to get our students developing a stronger value system and understanding the importance of not cheating.
But that has to happen beginning at home.
Yeah. Home and very young in school.
I'm big on education. It served me well, obviously. But we've always told our boys, and I encourage them to study and all, we always told our boys, I would much rather you make B's in school and have a life and have friends and play sports and travel around and make an A in life instead of necessarily an A in school, make B's. That would be fine. And I have to say, our youngest is just graduating from USC right now. Our oldest graduated from the University of Texas and in SMU Law School. And both of them are very successful in their lives. And we never said, you know, if you don't make an A, you're in trouble. And there were kids. I mean, you pull up in carpool. My kid's an honor student at the Acme School. Yeah. And I wanted to put one on and said, well, my kid has personality. You know,
I understand what you're saying. Okay, so I shouldn't work myself as hard. But, like, that needs to be said to the professors. That needs to be said to the parents. They need to stop putting the pressure on their students like this. It's way too much, Dr. Phil. Like, I literally want to rip out my hair sometimes.
No, I agree, but I'm telling you, but you're old enough now that you have to moderate and modulate the amount of pressure you put on yourself. Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Who was the valedictorian in your mother's class?
My mom, and then my sister also was.
And your sister was valedictorian.
Yes. See, that's the thing. There's a line of success in my family that I feel I need to live up to. There's so much, like my brother-in-law is a lawyer. My sister is going to grad school right now at UC Berkeley. She's a social worker. Like, there's so much success in my family that I feel I need to live up to. And if I don't, I feel like
But it depends on how you define success. And if success is the grade that's assigned to you by somebody who's measuring your rote memory and regurgitation of material defines your self-worth, then you've given your power away in an unreasonable way. All right, look, this starts really early in life. There are 3-year-olds that have to test and interview for prep schools. Now, I mean, this is just to get into kindergarten or preschool. Now, we have a granddaughter right now that's 5 months old, and so I've really been paying attention to this. We'll be right back. How early does it start where we're putting pressure on kids to perform? Now, Liz is joining us via Polycom from New York. Now, she owns the mommy website called Divalicious.com. And you have a very young child, correct?
I do.
How old? 3?
He's 3.
Okay, now you purchased a program that's called Aristotle Circle. Is that right?
That is correct.
Now, tell us what that is and tell us why you did it.
It is a program that helps your children prepare for the ERB tests, which in New York City, if you live here, your child needs to take that in order to get into preschool and or kindergarten in New York City, as well as some of the free public schools, the Talented and Gifted programs.
Has your son taken the test yet?
Not yet.
Have you seen improvement in his dialogue, his answers, his performance in some way?
I am practicing with him little by little, and I am seeing a little bit of an improvement day by day with the fun and the playfulness that we're having with the test.
Okay, so you don't think he would make it without it, or you just wanted to have every advantage you could get? I mean, what was your motive to do it?
My motive for doing this, for buying this practice test, is that I absolutely think 100% that he will do just fine if I did not have this little prep, but I just wanted to help just prepare him and ease the anxiety, because I feel that it's scary for a 4-year-old to have to go in for the first time and take a test by themselves, that they've never had to take a test before.
Now, Suzanne is here. She's CEO and founder of Aristotle Circle. Suzanne, you have a lot of critics of this program. You have a lot of adherents. You have a lot of people that really like this because they've used it, but there are critics of it. What do you have to say about the program?
Well, first of all, I'm a mother of 2 young children, and I think it's only natural for a parent to want the best education that you can have, for your children.
How much does the program cost?
That depends on what they have. So a workbook can be $500 to prepare for a test. The test itself costs over $500. And tutoring in a lot of the big cities can be anywhere from $100 an hour up to even sometimes $800 an hour. In the city,
$800 an hour to tutor a 3 or 4-year-old kid to take a test?
$800 an hour would be more for some of the SAT tutoring. We work with a lot of older children. But again, the test itself costs over $500. But actually, we have partnerships. I have a Dream Foundation and lots of other nonprofit people that help children.
Does it work?
It does work, yes. Absolutely. Little prep goes a long way, just like in SATs. If your child is going to take the SAT, now over 75% of children who take the SAT have preparation for it.
But is that unfair to parents that don't have $500 and $100 or $150 an hour for a tutor, so their kid's just showing up down there with a dirty face saying, I'm just a 4-year-old kid? I ask because I went to public schools the whole way. I mean, I got in a cattle car and rode up there and went into the public schools, and it was probably geared to the least, and we had to kind of seek our own level and figure it out and make it through. And, I dress myself every morning. I operate a motor vehicle. I get to work. I did okay.
Right. Well, I mean, my father grew up in the housing projects in Boston, and his life was transformed by education when he went to MIT on a full scholarship. And I just saw how much his life was transformed, and I want to make sure I provide the best opportunity for my children as well, give them the best education possible. And many times it is a public gifted and talented program, and it's unfortunate that children so young are getting tested, because these IQ tests are not really valid. As a young child, you can score really highly and still... There's no, how a child performs well at 4 years old is no indicator of who's going to Harvard. It's not even an indicator of who's going to perform well in first grade.
So everybody doesn't misunderstand, Liz. You spend 10 or 15 minutes a day. You're not hotboxing this kid. You're not spending a bunch of time with him. You're doing this in a play-like fashion, and you're doing it 10 or 15 minutes a day.
Correct.
I mean, that's the right way to do it if you're going to do it. We'll be right back. Okay, we've been talking to our viewers on Twitter while this show was going on, and some of them sent some tweets even before the show, because we said, have you ever cheated in school, sports, or at work? And if so, why did you do it? One of them said, I cheated at work by spilling a roach into a hamburger to get a coworker fired. She deserved it. Another one said, I cheated in school because I wanted to be as smart as my older brother. But do you get that cheating doesn't make you smarter? It just means you got a grade that you didn't earn. And if you're on drphil.com right now, you'll see how your own cheating compares to other viewers. It's really very interesting, and you can do this anonymously. So I'll be tweeting about the results right after the show. You wanted to say something, because you've been you've just been shaking your head.
It's a frustrating situation because I'm in college now, and I know what it's like to be pressured. I know what it's like to want to get the good grades and to make our parents proud and just to be proud of ourselves in general. But at the end of the day, you're left with your integrity. And so, I mean, you can be a smart cheater, you can be a successful cheater, but you're still a cheater.
Let me ask you something, Kayla. Would you rather have a B that you earned or an A that you stole?
I would rather have the B.
And how about you?
I'd rather have the A.
You'd rather have the A that you stole instead of the B that you earned? Wow. Let me ask the audience, would you rather have a B that you earned? Raise your hand. Or an A that you stole? All right, you guys. I knew you were trouble from the beginning. All right, thanks for being here today. So long. Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. Rich, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Today on Dr. Phil, a missing mom.
Austin police don't suspect foul play and don't have any evidence to believe that something bad may have happened.
But her family suspects her husband is lying.
He did something to her. He knows where she is.
We're not trying to make you out to be a bad guy. We're just trying to find Julie. What do you know about this that you haven't told us?
Please tell the truth if you did something.
Tell us what it is so we can sort this out.
We need to find her, okay?
Did you kill Julie?
I'm not hiding anything. I'm just telling you the truth.
If he doesn't have anything to do with Julie's disappearance, I want him to clear his name.
Are you responsible for Julie's disappearance? I have the results in here.
Is my daughter still alive?
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
I know things are tough out there, but we can do this. If it matters to you, that's what I want to talk about.
10 seconds to air.
Well, thank you. This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Ready, camera 5.
Take track.
Last week, I talked to the family of a young mom, Julie Gonzalez, who disappeared without warning, leaving behind her 2-year-old daughter, Layla. Now, Julie has been missing for over a month, and her family fears that she may become another devastating statistic. They want answers. They want to know what happened to their daughter, Julie. Is she a mom on the run, or is she truly a missing person? Now, they think Julie's soon-to-be ex-husband knows exactly what happened, and they want him to tell the truth. Let's take a look where we left off with this story.
A frantic search for a missing mother out of Austin, Texas. The very last person to see Julie Ann Gonzalez alive, her estranged husband.
And then after that, that was it. Nothing. No Julie.
Austin police don't suspect foul play and don't have any evidence to believe that something bad may have happened.
The last time I saw Julie was March 26. She told me, I got plans this weekend. Can you please take care of Layla? So I agreed to that. Saturday, when I heard that Julie went missing, the police came over to investigate.
The police came and says, can we search your house? They came through my son's room. I let them to search my house because I have nothing to hide.
Julie's family is pointing fingers at me so they can try to get the custody of my daughter.
Do you know anything about Julie's disappearance?
No, I don't.
Do you know anything that you're not telling them?
All I know is I was the last one to talk to her.
I think George would be the #1 suspect because there's no other person in Julie's life that she has a bad history with. George was physically and verbally abusive towards Julie.
You lost your temper and been violent with her?
Temper, yes, but like I never hurt her.
Julie was definitely afraid of George. Every time she went to go drop off or pick up Layla, she made it a point to take someone with her. The only day that she didn't take anybody with her, she disappeared.
You said she never went over there alone.
She didn't go over there alone.
Why would she never go alone?
George was constantly harassing her. She was always texting George because she wanted to keep track of those texts. I want him to clear his name because if he doesn't have anything to do with Julie's disappearance, clear your name.
You say you want to take me. We always have been doing what you want to say. I want y'all to take a polygraph because I know we found evidence that someone knows maybe where Julie's at.
APD hasn't questioned me 5 or 6 times, George. APD is questioning you.
Jack is prepared to give you a very straightforward polygraph at this time. Are you willing to do that? We're going to stop this show. We're going to do this polygraph. Well, we're here with Julie's mother, Sandra, and Aunt Margarita. Also, Aunt Dora is joining us by phone. You know, this is a complex situation. I'm going to unfold all of it to you today. I think you're going to leave here knowing a lot more than you did when you came here, but it is complex, so I'm wanting to pull a lot of things together to make the most sense out of all of this to you. After the time we spent here on this stage with George and with his mother, Victoria, are you more or less convinced that he knows what happened to Julie and or is involved with her disappearance?
I'm more convinced that he knows something. I feel it in my heart. I felt it the first day when I found out that Julie was missing.
What was it that he said or did in our conversation together that makes you more convinced that he's involved in this?
Just his body language. Just the way he acted when he started pointing the finger saying that our family knew something about Julie's disappearance. Wow. If we knew where Julie was, we wouldn't be here right now.
What do you think?
George just has a really bad history with Julie, you know, from stalking her once they first got separated to throwing her up against the wall. The George that I seen yesterday was the same George I've seen in the last couple weeks.
Now, if you had said that Julie never went over there to hand off or pick up Layla alone, that she always had someone with her, why would she go alone this day that she disappeared?
It was early Friday morning. My sister was working. My sister Dora was working. I live on the outskirts of Austin. You know, I couldn't have been there with her.
Maybe there wasn't somebody available.
There wasn't someone available.
Okay, now Dora is on the phone, and Dora found Julie's abandoned car in the Walgreens parking lot. Dora, are you there?
Yes, I am.
And you listened to the conversation that we had, correct?
Yes, I did.
What was your impression?
I don't buy it like my sisters don't buy it. Mm-hmm. I don't believe he is genuine in his story. I don't believe that he is telling the whole story.
He pointed a finger at you, Dora. Specifically, as you know, it wasn't at either of these two. He said you know what's going on here, that you are involved in this in some way. What do you say to that?
If I was involved in some way, we wouldn't be here. Julie would be here with us. We wouldn't have raised all this attention. How would I be involved in the disappearance of my niece? I love her to death.
Well, do you know if she's been involved with someone else, if she had exposure to some dangerous elements? Do you know of something that you might need to tell us? I don't think anybody suspects you of doing something inappropriate with her. I think the question is, do you know of a potential risk or a potential exposure she may have had that you're not sharing?
No, I do not. I have access to all of Julie's emails, and I have access to Julie's journals. I have access to Julie's phone bills. I've read through everything a number of times, and there is nothing to indicate that something else was going on in her life.
Well, you mentioned that. Let's take a look at this MySpace page post. This is something that was on her MySpace page. It says, "I wanted to run away. I'm sick of my life." Have you seen this?
Yes, I have.
And when was this posted?
I believe that was posted on the 28th of March.
Mm-hmm. And she disappeared when?
We reported her missing on the 27th.
So this was the day after you had reported her missing?
Correct.
Who put this post up if not Julie?
Whomever has her phone.
Do you have any ideas about that, Sandra? Who could have put that up there?
Whoever has Julie has her phone, they did it.
You don't think it was Julie?
No.
If you look at the postings that she posted before, she would always talk about Layla. She would always put uplifting messages, talk about how just her gazing at the trees just made her feel so happy. I mean, just happy comments all the time.
Julie was always big about writing in her journals, posting just everything that she did throughout the whole day.
When y'all came here, you understood that we had two objectives.
Yes.
One is to show Julie's picture, put up the identification. We've done that before with missing people. You also felt that George was not telling the truth and that he knew something here, and you wanted him to clear his name.
Yes, I did.
So Julie's estranged husband, George, who we're talking about, was the last person to see her, according to y'all, before she disappeared. And Julie's family has been urging him for some time to take a polygraph test to clear his name. Well, as you saw on the tape piece at the top of the show, George agreed and left the stage to take the test administered by polygraph expert Jack Tremarco. This is what happened when he went to take the test.
What we're going to test you on today, George, is whether you're telling the truth about not being involved in Julie's disappearance. If something had happened and Julie got hurt, or she pushed you and then fell and hurt herself, is your personality the type that would allow you to have the courage to tell the truth?
No, I'll tell him, because sooner or later, if I lie, then it's going to come back to me.
Absolutely. So if you are not responsible for Julie's disappearance, then I would say take the test. If you are responsible in some way, then we should discuss it. And then maybe not even go back out there. Maybe just talk to Dr. Phil in his office.
Okay.
And I'll just move right in here. This is going to go right over this brachial artery. Okay? Now, feet will be flat on the floor, and that's perfect. Okay. When you say to me, "All right, Jack, I'm ready," then I'm going to put pressure into the cuff. As soon as I ask the last question, you're going to feel all the pressure come out of the cuff.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, polygraph expert Jack Tremarco is joining us, and we're going to talk to him next about what went on in that room. Julie's family is more than anxious to hear. We're talking about the disappearance of Julie Gonzalez, a young mother who vanished without a trace during the month of March, leaving behind her 2-year-old daughter, Layla. Now, I'm here with Julie's mom, Sandra, her aunt, Margarita. Julie's aunt, Dora, is joining us by phone, and also with us now is polygraph expert Jack Tremarco. I want to talk about this polygraph a little bit so people understand how this works. It is a very involved process, true?
Very involved, and I would say on the average about 2 hours for a standard routine polygraph. There are 3 parts to a polygraph test. There's the pre-test, which is the explanation of the exam, the discussion of the event to be examined, the determining if the examinee is psychologically and physically able to be polygraphed on that day. In other words, how much sleep did you get last night? What kind of medications do you take? Are you in any pain or discomfort at the time of the exam? Any one of those things can be a disqualifier. If all of the answers are acceptable to the examiner, then the test goes forward. The questions are reviewed, and the examinee commits to those questions, and then those are going to be the questions that are asked on the test. No tricks, no surprises.
Jack, how was George before taking the test?
George was fine. George was appropriately nervous, as most people are.
And you defined all the terms. The questions you asked were, are you responsible for Julie's disappearance?
I did ask that.
And you defined responsible?
I defined
responsible. You defined disappearance?
Yes, I did.
How did you define responsible?
I defined responsible to George by saying that responsibility is not that you should have been holding her hand. Responsibility is not that you should have been protecting her. Responsibility is something you know or something you did that causes her not to be here today.
All right, and then you ask it in a second form. Did you cause Julie's disappearance during the month of March?
It's the same question, the same relevant issue, just asked in a different way.
How reliable are polygraph results in general?
Scientists agree that it's about 93% accurate when done by a qualified, professional, honest polygraph examiner.
How many years have you been with the FBI as a polygraph examiner?
7.
And how many polygraphs have you given in your history as a polygraph examiner?
About 3,000.
You're involved in training. You're involved in both state and national level polygraph
That's correct.
Organizations. So you have confidence in the results of this test?
I do.
I'm going to tell you what the answers are. They're in this envelope when we come back. Missing mom Julie Gonzalez's entire family has been suspicious of her estranged husband George since her disappearance and was relieved when he agreed to take a polygraph test. And so he, of his own volition, took this test. And I'm going to tell you what the results are right now. He was asked, are you responsible for Julie's disappearance? He answered no. He was asked, did you cause Julie's disappearance during the month of March? He answered no. Those were not truthful answers. He failed the polygraph test.
We knew it.
This was not a close call.
This was not a close call at all.
If he scored a -2 or 3, that would be conclusive.
-3 to either of those questions or -4 in concert is deceptive on this particular format.
And his score was?
-14.
I knew it.
Let's talk about this. Tell me what you're thinking and feeling right now.
Is my daughter still alive? I've told George I knew he had something to do with it, and I told George, I'm a forgiving person. I don't have any anger towards anyone. Julie is in God's hands. I know you need help and you need to be strong for Layla. This is not God's plan for Layla to grow up without her mother or her father. If you know anything about Julie, please, George, please. And I begged him, just say something now, because all I want to do is bring Julie home.
You know, you still hope that she's alive?
Of course I do. Of course I do. But knowing that George failed the polygraph, what else can I think?
I talked with George about this afterwards. I told him what the results were. After he took the test, he asked to meet with me, not here, but in my office across the way. I agreed to meet with him with Jack there. Well, let's take a look. You said you wanted to talk to me.
We talked to him, right, and the result came back negative.
I don't think it's the right terminology to say you passed or failed the test. That's not how we talk about it. We talk about it in the sense that when you responded to the operative questions, that it showed that you were not telling the truth. What do you know about this that you haven't told us?
What I know is that I should have done a little bit, something more to stop Julie from whatever she is in, because I feel responsible for her disappearing because I should have stopped her. And even though she told me she was going to be out for a weekend, I never thought anything bad was going to happen. Now it's been more than a month. And for me, I do feel responsible for that.
Georgia, I know how Jack works, and he didn't ask you these questions based on, was there something more you could have done? He asked you these questions in terms of saying, are you responsible for her disappearance? Did you hurt her in some way?
No, didn't.
George, I understand because it's what I do. People get angry. They fly off the handle. If you did something that day that you regret more than anything in the world, tell us what it is so we can help sort this out. It's got to be eating you up alive inside.
And it's the only thing that's eating me up is that I should have done a little bit more to stop her. Now I feel like crap because now she hasn't been home. She hasn't been home to get Layla. And I do feel responsible for that because, like I said, I should have stopped her right there to really find out what was really going on.
But there's something going on here that you're not telling us, or you wouldn't have come up deceptive on the polygraph test. What is it?
If I was hiding something, I would never show up here. I would never try to get information out there. I wouldn't do all this. I'm not hiding nothing. I'm be telling you the truth.
But you're telling us that this test is wrong, that Jack Tremarco is wrong.
I told the truth, and I don't want to say.
You know you didn't tell the truth. All right, let me just run through this then real fast. Did you cause Julie's disappearance during the month of March?
Did I cause it? I didn't cause it, but I felt like I did cause it.
George, on that day, you weren't on your Lexapro.
No, I wasn't.
Right?
No.
When people don't take their medication, sometimes it ends up tragic.
I didn't do nothing to her. I didn't do nothing to her.
But you weren't taking your Lexapro.
I haven't been taking Lexapro for a long time.
Why did you stop taking your Lexapro?
Because I didn't have the money to pay.
Do you need it?
I think I do need it because I've been depressed.
Do you have a therapist you see on a regular basis?
Not regular, like every once, twice a week.
What do you work on? What do you talk about?
Just talk about how I feel and just try to, like, because I had depression and try to take my life out.
You do have suicidal thoughts?
I just don't like to say because I don't want to freak out my mom.
If you're thinking about hurting yourself or killing yourself, then I want to help you from that. If you're telling me you don't trust yourself to not do that, you need to tell me that and let me get you some help for that.
Get some help from me.
Because
I would need it.
You believe that you could kill yourself.
I tried it one time, and I'm afraid probably to do it again. And now my mom finds out, and now she's not going to believe me. And then the family finds out, their family, now they're going to start pointing more fingers at me.
If you didn't do anything to Julie, then that's not going to happen. If you did, you need to get it off your chest and tell us.
Would you want to take another polygraph test with me asking you if you killed Julie?
No, now no more, because I know I'm probably going to fail.
Okay.
Right now, I'm not even calm. I'm not even thinking right.
Well, if you didn't kill her, you'll pass that test.
Yeah. Like I said, I just want to be well right now. Maybe this depression thing's affecting that test. I don't know. I'm not thinking right now. After this, my mom's not even going to trust me no more because I told her I would tell anything, and I've been holding this back. I do feel responsible for Julie's disappearance. I do.
What's your reaction to that?
He did something to her. He knows. If he didn't do it, he set somebody up. Somebody helped him.
What do you see and hear in that tape that makes you think that?
He thinks about what he's going to say. He fumbles in his words. He just looks nervous. Like you said,
He's looked nervous since the first day.
Are you confident in the results of this test?
I'm absolutely confident.
Well, I had another meeting with George after that included his mother in my office. We're going to take a look at that next. I thought it was very important to share the upsetting results of the polygraph test with Victoria, George's mother. She met me in the privacy of my office with Jack and with George. I want y'all to take a look at this. George took the polygraph, and what were the three operative questions that you asked?
Two relevant questions. Are you responsible for Julie's disappearance? And did you cause Julie's disappearance during the month of March?
He answered no to both of those, and it came back that that was deceptive.
What you did?
I didn't do nothing. I didn't do it. I just felt that I should have stopped her.
Jack feels that he knew what the question was about and that he's not telling the truth here.
Please tell the truth, mijo.
I am telling the truth. I don't know nothing.
Amor, if you did something wrong, tell.
Yo no hice nada, mami. No hice nada. Y lo que siento es que la había ganado de allí, que no se había ido. Eso por eso yo siento que yo hice algo. Porque si no lo agarré, se fue, ahora no sé dónde está.
Victoria, Jack has said to George, if you've done something wrong here, tell us now. And Jack said he wants the best for him. We're offering him the most help he'll ever get. If he's involved here, we want him to tell us so we can help him.
I'm not involved. I'm just begging you.
I'm telling you, mama, que no sé nada. I don't know nothing. If I could have gone back and stopped her, I'm really afraid that someone did do something. Tú me sabes, mami.
Well, Victoria, we told George he could go back and he could ask him a straightforward question. Did you kill Julie? And George said he did not want to take that test. He did not.
Why not, George?
No creo que lo voy a pasar. No estoy hecho una mentira. Pero yo siento, si yo creo que si lo maté, yo creo que sí, porque ¿qué pasa que otro o alguien más la mató? Leo, yo lo voy a sentir, porque yo lo había parado allí.
No, George. No, do it. Let them to do the test and say the truth, okay?
You were with me this whole time. Why did I have a chance to go and do anything?
Do you know where is she?
No.
Where is she?
I don't know.
Tell me the truth, Georgie.
I don't know, mommy. I don't know. I wish I knew. I really wish. You think I like this? You think like people thinking that I had something to do with it?
Amor.
No tengas miedo. Yo no tengo miedo. Yo no hice nada, ahora sí ya tengo miedo. Porque sí eché mentira, porque yo sí siento que hice algo mal.
Do you understand that I don't think bad of you? I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, George. You're the only one that knows. We're not trying to make you out to be a bad guy. We're just trying to find Julie.
Yeah, but now my mom thinks wrong, and then imagine all my family now.
No, mi amor, no. The only thing is the truth, okay? And I feel my heart that,
the truth.
Okay, and I feel my heart that you don't did that, okay? That's why I'm asking your help. Please try to find the truth.
Don't think that your mother thinks poorly of you, because she doesn't think bad of you. And she'll love you no matter what.
Sabes que sí, mi amor, okay?
The first thing to do is I think we need to get him back to Austin, get him into the hospital where they can see after him and take care of him and be sure that he's okay. Is that what you want? Now, you and I made a deal. What was it?
Not to harm myself, not to kill myself.
Now, are you good for your word?
Yeah.
Okay, and we've made the arrangements. You're going into the hospital where you'll be safe. Get yourself settled down. Then if you want to take this additional test, we'll take it.
Okay.
Just don't do it now. It's not fair to you. It's not the time to take it. Agreed, Jack?
Another time, another place.
Now you take care, okay? Take care. George, I'll be in touch now, okay?
Thank you.
Now you're going to the hospital, and you're going to take care of yourself, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right. Now, by the way, as you saw during the course of the conversation, George and his mother switched to speaking Spanish. I'm not fluent in Spanish, so to confirm the accuracy of our translation, I've asked a certified Spanish translator to be here today, Joan Stewart Morris. Joan, has this been interpreted correctly?
I feel that it has been interpreted quite accurately.
He says, I feel like I killed her. Now, the context in which I heard that from what he said to me in English was that he was saying I should have done more to keep her from going off and getting hurt. I didn't hear that as a confession in the context.
I agree with you on that. I really do. Yeah, at no time did I feel that it was a confessional. It was more about his feeling responsible.
Frankly, I hear it as a deflection to try and explain away the test results. Jack, is that what you're hearing him saying? I feel like I should have done more. That's why I failed the test.
He threw me a bone. He wanted me to be happy with what he told me and then just accept the fact that the reason he failed the test was because he should have done more to keep her from leaving. It's a bone, and it's not to be considered.
Again, let me hear from you. Let me hear from you after you just watched that in his conversation with his mother.
He's not a man. He's a boy. He always hides behind his mother. What he's putting his poor family through. I feel so sorry for her.
So where is George now? What the Austin police have had to say about this. I'm going to tell you everything that's been going on behind the scenes after the break. Talking to the family of Julie Gonzalez, a young mother who's been missing just over a month and left behind a 2-year-old daughter, Layla. Her soon-to-be ex-husband, from whom she was currently estranged, is reported to be the last to have seen Julie alive. He recently took a polygraph test, which revealed deception in his answers about causing her disappearance. And we did call it a disappearance instead of a death, because we don't know. I want to explain some things that have gone on. Dora, what do you have to say about all of this?
I'm not surprised, but I'm very much in shock. I was just reading this morning Julie's journal, and she described her mother-in-law, being a very nice and loving woman, but she said that she didn't know what has happened to George. She said George used to be such a well-grounded person, and he's turned into this psycho.
Let me tell y'all what has happened since then. Now, understand, for a variety of reasons, once George tells me that he is having active suicidal ideation, I have a responsibility to react to that. He told me that he had a suicide attempt in January, that he had been at a hospital in Austin. So Dr. Frank Lawless, who is here, Dr. Lawless is the chairman of the Dr. Phil Advisory Board. I asked Dr. Lawless, who also is a Texan, to get involved with that hospital, make arrangements for George to go back there and be admitted. Anthony Haskins, right next to Dr. Lawless, who is the director of our resource department, actually got on an airplane last night and flew with Victoria and with George and escorted him into the hands of these caregivers at this psychiatric hospital. So, Dr. Lawless, tell me what you know about the hospital. He has been admitted, correct?
That's correct. He wanted to go into the hospital on his own needs, and they were very generous and said, he has a bed here, and we'll open up ourselves to accepting him immediately.
And as a matter of professional decorum, I understand you also contacted his therapist?
That's correct. I contacted his therapist and informed him of the situation, and his therapist was, again, very appreciative of our information and also our cooperation.
All right. Anthony, you flew with Victoria and George to Austin during the night last night. How was he on the trip?
It's very relaxed, calm. He slept on the airplane. I didn't see anything out of the usual. I don't know George. I don't know his mother, other than our experience yesterday with them. But I didn't see anything that seemed outrageous to me. He seemed calm and relaxed the whole time.
Now, Jack, based on your background and involvement in law enforcement, you contacted the Austin Police Department and brought them up to speed about what is going on here. Tell us about that conversation.
This morning I made a courtesy call, and I was connected with Detective Jim Scott, who was involved in this case. And then when the polygraph was thrown back and forth, and knowing that he had made a prior claim that he would take a polygraph, that's when I got involved. I advised him of the results, the questions that were asked and the damning score that George got on the test. And he was very appreciative. He was professional, and said that he was going to go out to where George was being treated and interview him today.
And what's their attitude about the information that we're providing them?
There was no attitude of resent or what are you doing sticking your nose in our business. The detective thanked me and said that he would be going out there today. The polygraph examiner told me that they were planning to polygraph George and her boyfriend, Julie's boyfriend, this week. And I said, well, this is going to be an easy one because before George left, I asked him if he would take the Austin PD polygraph, and he said he would.
So how does this family move forward? We'll talk about that when we come back. This has been a very difficult situation. We've been talking with the family of Julie Gonzalez, a young mother who's been missing. If you have any information, any leads on the disappearance of young mom Julie Gonzalez, please contact the Austin Police Department at 512-974-5250. You can also go to drphil.com where we will have a link to the Julie Gonzalez website. So if you know anything, please help out. Let me say to the two of you, I have really mixed emotions about this. I'm so sorry for these results, but I do think it's progress.
Yes.
I do think you're gaining information here. I want to be very clear. George denies this. These are allegations. He denies them vehemently. So, I'm certainly not saying that he's guilty. Maybe it's just me being from Texas, or it's just me being a parent, but I want to implore y'all to let the system work here. I know you have a big family, an extended family. I know they're emotional about this. But we don't want any cousins. We don't want anybody exacting justice here.
No.
You don't create problems for yourself.
We haven't done that.
By lashing out in anger, and tell all of your family, please don't break another heart.
No.
By going off and doing something like this. You may not be big fans of the Austin Police Department, but with this information, you're confident that they're all over this and are going to move forward at this point.
They gave me every assurance.
They gave you every assurance. And George said to us that he wanted to take that polygraph and get this clear. And so, let this system work.
Like I said, Dr. Phil, we are a family of very strong faith. We don't have any anger towards anyone. Frustration, we do have anger towards APD for taking so long, and just to investigate her case. But as far as anger, I don't have any anger towards George's family, George's mother. I don't have any anger. I just want Julie to come home. My faith is strong. I know she's in God's hands. I just want closure. Julie needs to come home, or we need to find out what happened to Julie.
When you came here, you wanted me to advance the ball in this and
Yes.
get additional information. Have we done that?
Yes. Yes, you have.
You have something to pursue at this point.
Yes.
And maybe it's the right road, maybe it's not, but we certainly have a direction to pursue at this point.
Yes.
Fair enough? Well, you will be in our prayers, and we will hope against hope that Julie comes back to us alive,
Yes.
healthy and well. We'll pray for that.
God's plan is for Julie to raise her daughter. That's God's plan.
Layla needs her mom.
All of us here and all of us at home are going to pray for her safe return. We'll do our best. A special thanks to polygraph examiner Jack Tremarco for all of his hard work, Anthony Haskins for escorting George safely to the hospital in Austin. A special thanks to Joan Stewart Morris for helping with the Spanish translations today. Joan, thank you so much. Dr. Lawless, thanks for intervening with your colleagues in Texas and this hospital to keep George safe. He's now in their hands and out of ours, but I'm confident that they will do a good job in taking care of him. As for the Gonzalez family, we all pray for answers here. We do. Again, if you have any information on leads on the disappearance of young mom Julie Gonzalez, contact the Austin Police Department, 512-974-5250. You can also go to drphil.com. We'll have a link to the Julie Gonzalez website. Thanks for being here, and thanks for listening to all this. So long.
Today on Dr. Phil, a bulimic mother whose baby almost died
He wasn't breathing. It was the worst feeling ever.
is having another child.
You made the decision to get pregnant knowing you were bulimic.
That's right.
Somebody's going to have to explain to me how that makes sense.
Plus, she thinks her daughter's lifestyle is devious.
I denied it because I was scared. I was afraid.
In our home, that is not acceptable.
I just think that you're dead wrong. Let's do it. Why don't we stop all the drama, stop all the fighting, and let's go get you better.
Here we go. Have a good show, everybody.
If I can help get this family back on track, are you willing to do that?
Ready, free. Take.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. Go, Dr. Phil. All right, Lisa may look like a happy, young, nurturing mother, but simmering just beneath the surface is a secret so dangerous that the minute we read her email, we arranged for her to get on a plane. You see, Lisa revealed to us that she's bulimic. She gorges herself on tons of food, then throws it all up. She does this over and over again every single day. Lisa confessed that she never stopped the binging and purging, even when she was pregnant with their 2-year-old son, when she practiced this deadly ritual as often as 10 to 15 times a day. Take a look.
I've been binging and purging just about every single day for 5-6 years now. When I was pregnant with Tobias, I was bulimic. I was binging and purging up to 10-15 times a day.
It was really, really bad. She was out of control.
I probably spent about 80% of the day binging and purging.
No matter what I said, she would get angry, and I would just have to walk away.
I was worried that the baby wasn't getting enough food, so I tried to eat something right after I purged, and that's usually what would trigger another binge. It just became a vicious cycle. When I binge, I'll eat sandwiches, cookies, cereal, ice cream, pizza, popcorn, just anything that I can get my hands on.
I have seen her eat 4 hamburgers.
I found out that bulimia can give you a heart attack, it can give you a stroke, you can die at any moment.
I was so worried about her having a miscarriage.
I wanted to stop, but I just couldn't.
It was devastating. There was nothing I could do.
When Tobias was born, he didn't breathe for a few minutes. It was really scary. And I thought he was just gonna die. I knew it was all my fault.
Give me 5. Give me 5. Yeah! It's not just a gift that Tobias is healthy. It's a miracle.
Well, it gets worse. Lisa's shocking revelation is that she is currently 12 weeks pregnant, and she is still very much bulimic.
I'm 12 weeks pregnant with our second child. Thought having a second child would really solve my problems with bulimia. Getting pregnant hasn't taken care of my eating disorder. I just can't stop. I currently purge about 4 to 5 times a day. I don't binge and purge when I'm with other people. It only happens when I'm alone. And I drink soda with whatever I eat because it helps me to get rid of the food faster. I eat lunch, and most of the time I cannot keep that down. I go into the bathroom, turn on the shower, I turn on the fan so that nobody can hear me, and then I purge. I had pizza and I felt very full afterwards, so I went to get rid of it. I feel very guilty right now. I feel disgusting. I wish it would never happen again. I swear to myself it won't happen again, but it always does. I'm really scared for this baby because with Tobias, I really think we just got very lucky.
I feel very guilty that I can't make her stop. It's beyond my control.
Every time I purge, I think about how I just might have hurt the baby. I'm just really worried about how the baby's doing, if it's even alive.
Now, here's my first question, because I want to be sure I understand this right. You both consciously made a decision to get pregnant a second time, knowing that you were an active bulimic.
That's right.
So you knew that this disease had a grip on you. You knew that you were unable to stop, or at least had been unwilling to stop, and you got pregnant knowing that. Somebody's going to have to explain to me how that makes sense.
It all does not make sense. It was one night where I said, this is enough. You have to do something, you have to stop, and I don't care what it takes. So she packed her bags, she went to Mexico to live with her parents for a couple of weeks. When we were on vacation earlier this year in Mexico, her bulimic stopped. For 3 whole weeks, she did not have a single problem with it. So when this was so bad again, a couple months ago, I told her, pack your bags, go to Mexico, stay there until you have this resolved. She stayed there for a couple of weeks, she was fine again. Over the time she was in Mexico, that's where we found out she was pregnant.
You said it 3 times in a row. You keep repeating yourself. She went to Mexico.
Yeah.
Before she did well. She went back this time, she did well for a couple of weeks. Then you told me again, then you told me again, now you've told me for the 3rd time. Why are you telling me even the 1st time? This isn't responsive to my question. You made the decision to get pregnant knowing you were bulimic, knowing you had this disease. Tell me why. I want to know what your rationale was. Don't tell me about Mexico a 4th time. Why did you do it? Why did you decide? Did you think she would stop?
I think that she would stop so that she would come back from Mexico and she would stop and have a healthy pregnancy throughout the whole thing, and we'd be able to have another child happily.
Because she was pregnant the last time and she stopped.
She did not stop the last
Of course she didn't. Listen, I'm pointing this out because your thinking, both of your thinking, is not rational and it's not productive. I have to get you out of your current mindset. I have to get you out of your current rationale, or we're not going to get any different result here, okay? Because you admit you're 12 weeks pregnant, but yet you're eating hamburgers, pizza, bologna, anything you can get your hands on, gorging yourself with it, and then throwing up every time you eat it, right?
Almost every time, yes.
Do you smoke?
Yes.
Did you just have a cigarette backstage?
Yes.
And you're 12 weeks pregnant?
Yes.
I know.
Okay, so your rationale is such that you'll put your own interest ahead of your child's. I mean, that's where we are, right? And you ran out of options. You didn't know what to do with the bulimia, so you thought, let's have a baby and see if that'll fix it. And if it doesn't, then you've got just another baby.
I know. I was out of options. I was totally
That wasn't an option. You were out of options when you chose that. That wasn't on the options list. Let's see, get treatment, deal with underlying causation, educate ourselves and learn what's going on, have a baby. That wasn't on the list.
I do realize that, and I do know that. And, you know, it was a decision that should have not been made by us. But
Thank you.
I have called 911 on her. I have taken her into the hospital myself. We have seen a psychiatrist. We have seen a therapist. We have done everything on the list to try to get help for her. Nothing. It seems like she just goes in for the visit. When she comes home, that evening will be worse than any other day of the week.
Gotcha. Having a baby to fix the problem is irrational. But the baby is here, which means you have a duty. You guys as parents have a duty here, and I want to help you meet that challenge. I want to help you meet that duty. Now, Lisa admits her self-destructive behavior escalated after she gave birth to her son. So when we come back, we're going to find out what Lisa was doing the night she was so out of control that the police came and took her away. We'll be right back.
David had to call the police twice. I was taken to the hospital both times.
It's something that nobody should ever have to live through. It made me feel so guilty.
I feel that if I don't get my bulimia under control, I might lose Dave. It's put a lot of strain on our marriage.
I don't care how many fights we will have. I will stay by her side. I love her so much that there is no way that I can leave her.
All right, we're talking with David and his wife, Lisa, a mom who just confessed that she binged and purged during her entire first pregnancy. Now, she is 12 weeks pregnant with baby number 2. And between pregnancies, her behavior was just as frightening. Take a look at what else she was doing.
I know that I can't just have one drink. Once I have one, I need more. My drinking went from drinking on weekends to all of a sudden I was drinking every single night of the week.
She drinks liquor, whiskey, anything with alcohol in it.
I would drink all the whiskey every night and sometimes I would go back for more. I can't control my drinking at all. Being drunk made me feel like it was okay to have an eating disorder. It made me care less about everything. After drinking a lot, I would take a knife and I would cut myself.
She will go violent. She will start cutting herself. She will just go out of control. She would take her nails and just scratch and scratch and scratch right till the skin was gone.
My drinking has gotten so out of control that David had to call the police twice. I was taken to the hospital both times.
It's something that nobody should ever have to live through. It made me feel so guilty.
I am really scared that after this baby is born, I'm going to go back to drinking.
My greatest fear is that if she doesn't die from her eating disorder, she's going to die from drinking.
Okay, tell me what your theory is about the drinking. Well, you must have gotten a payoff from it. What was it? What were you getting out of that?
Nothing really. In the beginning, the first drink would make me relax, and then I would just, after that I couldn't stop. I just had to keep drinking. It really did no good.
Well, you were getting something out of it or you wouldn't do it over and over again.
I needed
It had to be
that
some
drink.
payoff.
I just felt like I needed that drink.
Who was taking care of the baby while you were drunk?
I would start drinking after he went to bed.
And if he woke up or something, what happened?
That's where I would have to come in place.
So you were unavailable if he wakes up sick or something like that in the night?
Well, I still knew what I was doing enough.
As far as
Not
you know?
really. Midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, some nights there, she would not be conscious enough to take care of the baby.
I thought I was fine. I thought I was good enough to take care of him if he needed it.
Are you drinking now?
No.
Is she drinking now?
No, she's not.
Are you sure of that?
I'm sure. I never, before, I would see receipts from the alcohol getting delivered, laying around on the table, or I would see an empty bottle laying around or a half bottle in the fridge, or even though she would be hiding it, I know how she acts when she's had too much or when she's been drinking. She will start acting like a total different person as soon as she's drinking, and now she is always acting normal as if she hasn't been drinking anything.
Why did you call 911?
Baby was asleep. She was going out of control.
Out of control how?
She was physically attacking me and slapping me, trying to punch me. There was nothing I could do. She wanted more food. She wanted more alcohol. And the baby was asleep. And she was cursing and swearing at me. There was no way I was going to go wake the baby and take her to the hospital myself and let my little child see this happen.
So what do you say about that? That you're so out of control, he has to call 911 to get you out of the house because the baby's going to be traumatized if he has to wake the baby up to take you somewhere.
I can't believe that I did that. I can't believe that it got that far.
But did it?
Yeah.
So you're saying I can't believe it in retrospect, but you believe it did happen.
I believe it happened, yeah.
And after the police came, you started to scratch the skin off your body?
Yeah.
Where? How did you do it?
I was in the ambulance and I was really mad at everybody and myself. So I was looking for something in the ambulance to try and cut or something that had nothing, so I scratched.
And where did you scratch yourself?
On the chest here.
Uh-huh. And do you realize that that is, again, irrational behavior?
Mm-hmm.
So there's an absence of rationality here in many of your decisions.
There was a couple times where two times I had to call 911 on her.
Mm-hmm.
One time, the second time was she was so intoxicated, she said, "I dare you to call 911." Well, she was out of control again. I had no other choice. The first time the police didn't come. The second time the police did show up. And she was so out of control, and that when they took her to the hospital, she was cursing and swearing at the nurses. She was swinging, trying to punch the nurses, trying to keep them down. And they had to strap her down and keep her tied down all night in the bed. Where she
See, it seems like we're talking about a different person here.
I get like that when I drink.
So you change, you evolve.
She's a
devolve.
Totally different person when she's sober. And that's a problem. I figured if we had to call 911 on her twice, the doctors would look at her and say, well, this is enough. She needs treatment. She needs to go either rehab. She needs to get some kind of help from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe, I figured that maybe enough's enough. So in the morning, after she's sobered up, they had a suicidal person come in, take tests of her, and after it's all done, they're like, no, she's not suicidal anymore. Doctors threw it off. Okay, she can go home. And it happened every single time. Every time we went to the hospital, a couple times I took her there myself, a couple times the ambulance took her there, and every single time. In the morning, she's sobered up, she can go home.
Mm-hmm. And this is with a baby in the house?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think it's devastating.
I think it's terrible.
All right, coming up, their first son was not breathing when he was born. What David is worried about with this next child. We'll be right back.
A lot of times after I purge, I actually think I'm going to die. My heart beats way too fast, and I really think that I might all of a sudden have a heart attack. I don't want to call 911 because I'm afraid it might be a false alarm, so I just lie down and I try not to move. I think I'm harming my unborn baby. It's just very selfish of me to be doing that. I feel guilty for hurting everybody.
I feel helpless. I feel very guilty that I can't make her stop.
Why do you think you have resorted to bulimia, alcohol abuse, cutting, and violence towards yourself and others? All of those things, why?
I really don't know why. I've been so confused about it. It all started when I was 14. Mm-hmm. And it just got worse and worse.
What happened when you were 14 that made it start?
I just decided I wanted to lose some weight, and I stopped eating, and then from there it's just gotten worse and worse.
How does that relate to alcohol abuse and cutting?
I drank when I was a teenager. I drank a lot. I stopped drinking when we got married. I didn't drink for a while there, but then it got bad again.
Why do you cut?
I don't cut when I'm sober, but when I had been drinking, I got so angry at myself. So I don't know why, but I took a knife and I cut.
And where do you cut?
On my arm.
May I see it? So you've cut more than once?
Yes.
You don't like your thoughts either, do you? So what do you think? What do you think that upsets you so much?
The guilt. The people that I'm hurting. I'm just such a terrible person. I don't deserve to be here.
Tell me what you say.
I just hate me.
I didn't say tell me what you think. I said tell me what you say. You say it to yourself over and over. What do you say?
You're a loser. You're a terrible mom. You're a terrible wife. I don't deserve the family that I have.
Lisa, you were molested earlier in your life. You ever talk to yourself about that?
I didn't let myself think about it for a very long time. Since we got married, since having Tobias, and he's growing up, I think about it all the time.
What do you think?
He's so little, he's so innocent. How could anybody do that?
But they did it to you when you were a child, and you're thinking about it all again. You feel very alone with all of this, do you not? You feel alone with your bulimia. You started doing it, but pretty soon it started doing you, didn't it? At this point, to be completely honest, you couldn't stop if you wanted to.
I've tried everything.
And you're medicating yourself with alcohol, and you're treating yourself with cutting. You understand, you get into this anxiety storm in your brain, and it actually is a neurological storm in your brain. And if you cut yourself, then that is such a powerful and noxious stimulus that it breaks you out of that. That's why you say the anxiety dissipates. You get a physical pain, you get a physical sensation that is so powerful it overtakes the neurological storm you're in for anxiety, and it feels like relief. But that's not treating it. Now, you understand, when you did this before and had a child, he was born not breathing.
That was terrible.
Think of those few moments when Tobias was born and not breathing.
I just thought I loved him so much already, and I thought I wouldn't be able to ever tell him that. He was so adorable, but he wasn't breathing. And I knew that if he wouldn't start breathing, it would be all my fault. It was the worst feeling ever.
Do you fear that's going to happen again?
I fear that it's just not going to wake up this time.
And he was so tiny and innocent, and it was not his fault.
And it's not this baby's fault either.
I know.
And it wasn't your fault what happened to you when it happened to you. But somebody has to quit pointing a finger of blame, and somebody has to start doing something to change it. And I want to do that for you right now. And I'm going to tell you what I've done. I have arranged for you to be admitted immediately to a dual diagnosis bulimia program that has been developed especially for you. And this is a program that is going to deal with your alcoholism, it's going to deal with your bulimia, and it's going to deal with the mental and emotional issues that I believe stem from the fact that you were so terribly molested by a trusted person in your life. Now, Velvet Mangan is here, and she is the founder and CEO of the Safe Harbor Treatment Center for Women, which is a nationally recognized dual diagnosis treatment program. And this is for women. And it's in Costa Mesa, California. Velvet is here. There you are, Velvet. You've been listening to all of this. Thank you for doing it. Can you help her?
Absolutely. Her story's really not that uncommon. It's significant trauma manifesting in forms of trying to control the pain and suffering.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage to come here.
Mm-hmm.
I assume in doing that you seriously want help.
Yes, I do, and that's the only reason I'm here. I've seen you help so many people.
Will you take that help?
Yes, I will.
Will you support her in doing that?
100%.
Now, she's going to be gone.
Let her be gone.
That means Tobias is your job, because he can't go with her.
I'll do whatever it has to do.
It's time for you to put this behind you, walk out of your history, and come present in your life.
It sounds so good, I can't even imagine it.
Well, you don't have to imagine, because you know what? It just happened. Okay. All right, when we come back, meet a mom who thinks her daughter's lifestyle is devious and that signing her up for softball could have started the whole problem. We'll be right back.
I confronted Doreen.
I denied it because I was scared. I was afraid.
The thought of her lifestyle makes me sick to my stomach.
Well, Diane finds it difficult to accept her daughter Doreen's lifestyle, as she calls it. She thinks it's all started when she signed her up for softball.
Doreen was a perfect child growing up. She became interested in softball. I nudged her to be more interested in it because she was so talented.
I knew something was different about me. I would notice myself being attracted to women.
She became infatuated with one of her teammates. Some of the kids had seen Doreen and another girl kissing.
That was my first relationship with a girl. It felt good. It felt real.
I confronted Doreen. She denied being gay.
I denied it because I was scared. I was afraid. Growing up in a Christian household, I knew that it was a sin to be gay.
Doreen is gay. The thought of her lifestyle makes me sick to my stomach. I believe that if I hadn't put her into softball, that she may not have been gay.
Softball did not contribute to me being gay. I was gay before I even started playing softball. It's something that you're born with, not a choice.
I did not choose to be straight. I believe everyone is born straight. I believe that homosexuals are similar to drug addicts, alcoholics, people who have addictions. They're looking for something.
My mom has tried to convert me from gay to straight by taking me to therapy.
I believe Doreen could stop being gay.
To me, that was just really ridiculous.
Doreen, she's so beautiful. She could get any man. We will never accept homosexuality. I feel like I've lost my daughter.
My mom just needs to know that this is who I am and who I was made to be. And if I could change who I am, I would, but I'm sorry.
Well, okay, we heard from you in the tape, so let me hear from you now. What do you think about what your mother is saying and how she feels about all of this?
I just feel, I resent myself. I feel confused and then ashamed.
What are you ashamed of?
Who I am.
And who are you? Who are you that you're ashamed?
A lesbian.
Uh-huh. And you're ashamed of that because why? Because of what your mother's saying? Because of what you think, feel, believe? What you've been taught? Tell
what
me.
I've been taught and how I make my mother feel. And what I am how it's looked as from the Christian community.
Right. And how do you feel about her reactions here?
Well, I know that that's how she feels, and I know it hurts her. I reacted in anger, you know, just very upset, not understanding why she would choose this, because I believe it's a choice. And I just don't understand that. When she was a little girl, she was the perfect little girl, and she was a little girl, you know. And then I started to notice things at a certain age when she started playing softball.
Because you say flat out, you just will not accept gay.
Yes.
That's just, if that's who she is, what does that mean? If she's gay, you're done with her?
No, oh no. I just will not accept the relationship with whomever she's having a relationship with.
Okay, but you think that she got on this softball team and she met people or a person on that softball team that caused her to be gay.
Yes, I think that contributed to it.
I know who I am, and I feel inside that these feelings I feel for women are real. And it's not because of softball. I wouldn't want to live a lie, and that's how I honestly feel. And I'm telling you the truth.
But you said you didn't know who you were. You said, I'm confused. I don't know how I feel. I don't know what I think. Now you're speaking with more clarity.
Well, I'm saying I feel like I am confused because I want to please my mom. I wish I was straight, and I wish I could be, and I could change myself, but I feel that this is who I am.
But your thought is if she will see a competent counselor, they will unravel all this confusion for her and the false sense of security she has in romantic relationships with women, and then it will all come clear to her that she's straight as a string and she'll get on with her life.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's talk about what I think about all that when we come back.
It's frustrating that my mom doesn't approve me being gay. I start asking myself, why am I here? And I told my mom, I said, I wish you would have known that I was going to be gay when I was born, so you could have aborted me. I wouldn't be here. And to put you through this.
Well, we're back with Diane, who says she does not accept the fact that her daughter Doreen is gay and will not accept the fact that she is gay. She wants her to do what is necessary to overcome the influences that have confused her and caused her to make that choice in her life. What else contributed to it?
We didn't find out till much later, she was molested by my brother.
Mm-hmm. And you think that contributed to her shunning men and feeling safer with women?
Yes, I really think that.
So you think this is just a maladaptive reaction to things that have happened in her life? So it would be a maladjustment, and that it needs to be treated, sorted out, and then she goes on with her life.
Yes. In our home, that is not acceptable. Her girlfriend will not be welcome in our home as, like a heterosexual relationship. But what she does is her business. But I want her to confront this molestation once and for all and deal with it. Mm-hmm. However, whatever it takes to help her.
Well, let me ask you this. If you believe that this is, in fact, a maladjustment that would respond to treatment and correction, why would you not have compassion for her? If you think she's sick, she thinks she's confused, why would you judge her and reject her instead of supporting her?
Well, I'm not rejecting her. I'm rejecting her lifestyle.
Well,
that
you don't let her
lifestyle
around nieces, you don't let her around family members. That is rejection. You're saying, look, you're not okay.
We're not saying Doreen cannot come around.
So but is your fear that she might talk them into it?
No.
Or that might model it for them?
Yes, that they see it as being healthy and a normal thing, and we don't believe that is healthy and normal.
I'm very sorry that I'm going to disappoint you about this, but I just think that you're just dead wrong. I'm serious, I do. And understand, I come from the field of psychology, and until 1975, this was considered a mental illness. But because of science, because of research,
and because of media and media bias and all that. I've read all that, Dr. Phil. Society has been told by Hollywood and the world that it's okay and it's normal, so I understand all that.
And you think that's just media bias?
Yes, and it's training society to believe that it's healthy and normal when millions die. I don't understand that.
Millions died?
Yes, from HIV/AIDS.
Well, let me be clear about one thing you're saying, because up until 1975, homosexuality was considered to be a disorder. And in 1975, there was a groundbreaking statement by the American Psychological Association that said homosexuality per se implies that no impairment in judgment, reliability, or general social or vocational capabilities, and that mental health professionals should take the lead in removing the stigma of mental illness long associated with homosexual orientation. And, that term, even homosexual, which was, used at that time is not really an accepted term in this day and time, but I read it because I want to be accurate with what they said.
I just believe in my God-given conscience that that's not what God intended. I mean, you know what, it's going to happen, but to me, just because a lot of people do it doesn't make it right.
I understand that, and believe me, listen, I am very much Christian, and I respect your religious beliefs. I also believe that if you look at what we now know, that to just blatantly say this is not a normal thing for her to do is ignoring a vast body of information and research that I think that you should take into account. What if asking her to deny who she is and pursue a romantic relationship with a man, what if that is unnatural to her, as if we were going to take you and put you in therapy with the goal of having you have romantic feelings towards women?
That
Can
is
you
not
even
my
imagine?
intention.
But can
No.
you even imagine that?
No.
You would feel like a complete fraud, would you not? If you did it.
I guess you could say yes, but there are ex-homosexuals who have done that. So, you know, I see that as proof that it is a choice.
Yeah, I don't believe there's any such thing as ex-gay. I think they may have thought they were at some point and then determined that they weren't, and that's fine. I think you've got to meet yourself where you are. And I think where you are this is an unambiguous reality for you, correct? And to try to get you to behave otherwise would be what? Difficult?
Devastating.
Yeah, to deny who you are. All right, let's take a break. Everybody take a deep breath. Next, we're going to talk to Doreen's girlfriend. She says she's been called a lot of names. We'll be right back.
Anna and I have been together for 10 years.
I can't imagine my life without her.
My mom doesn't support my relationship with Anna.
Anna's been nothing but a bad influence.
She's called me fat, she's called me a slut, an uneducated wetback.
I wish they would break up. I would like my daughter back.
Recently, Anna and I got engaged. I have not told my family that I'm engaged. I'm afraid that if I tell them, they may disown me.
Diane needs to know that we are going to be together forever, and she needs to get over it.
Now, Anna says Diane shouts nasty names at her. This is Anna, is that true?
Yes.
What does she say to you?
She calls me fat, a slut, a whore, a chaba.
She's called me worse.
Yes, I have called you worse, but I also wrote you a letter, an apology letter, a few weeks ago,
about
apologizing.
a couple of weeks ago, before we were going to be on the show.
Yeah.
I never, ever went to confront her or hurt her or say anything bad to her.
You're lying.
Whatever,
You used to go to my house
whatever
all the
was,
time.
it was between me and Doreen. If Doreen and I were texting, and then I would get a text and it would be Anna. I never, ever went out of my way to attack her because it's her business.
She would go to my parents' restaurant all the time and tell my mom stuff.
I'm sorry, what are you saying? I'm sorry.
She would always go to my parents' restaurant and tell my mom everything. She would write me nasty emails, telling me that I'm gonna rot in hell, that what we're doing is not right.
I've never called her names to her face. And when I went to her mother's home, it was to show her mother a letter that she wrote, a vulgar letter to Doreen, saying that she couldn't wait for her to her, and just really, really disgusting.
Well, what do you say about all of this?
It's crazy. It's stressful for me. And I feel like I'm my worst enemy right now because I'm not at peace with myself. And I feel like I have no support from my family at all.
And what are you at war with yourself about?
I ask myself, why am I here? Why was I created? If I was going to be gay, if, I have to struggle like this the way I do. And I blame myself.
For
me being gay. I just blame myself, and I wish I could be straight so I wouldn't have to deal with all of this.
See, what if blaming yourself for being gay is like blaming yourself for being tall? You can't get shorter. Let me give you some good news. Because you don't feel like you're getting very good news from me, are you?
No, not really.
Not really, that's okay. Listen, I take very seriously, and I think she says she's confused, and I don't judge you because I think you're confused, and I think you mean well. I really do. I disagree with you, and that's my right. But I said I was going to give you some good news. The good news is if you're right, if this is just a phase, if she isn't lesbian, if she is in fact just confused, that will sort out. Let me tell you what I do agree with your mother about. I do agree with your mother that given that you have been molested, that really changes who you are. Seriously, it does. I mean, it causes you to think about things differently, and when it happens at a young age, it can create some cognitive patterns, some thought patterns that are just inaccurate and can program you, set you up to make some really bad choices in your life. Creates a wound that needs healing. And you really do need help with that. If that has not been dealt with, if you've not had specialized help that deals with survivors of molestation and helps them to regain their focus, then you really would benefit from that. And I would be more than happy, as my gift to you is to arrange that kind of specialized help for you, to work with you to help sort that out. What do you think?
I like that.
Which part?
I mean, getting help with my molestation and healing from that. Yeah.
You need that, don't you? And if right now she says, look, I just can't bring full acceptance to her relationship with Anna, okay? You've got to give her that right. That doesn't mean that you can't relate to her. She doesn't have to love everything about you, and you don't have to love everything about her. But the mother-daughter relationship should remain intact here. You need your mom, and your mom needs you.
I do, and that's why I'm here. I do need her, and her love, and her affection.
But you can't reject her just because she rejects your girlfriend. You can't reject her just because she rejects that relationship. Respect her enough to give her a chance to work with this.
Okay.
And you two stay together here, okay? You two stay together. We'll be right back. I want to thank all of our guests today, especially Velvet Mangan, founder of Safe Harbor Treatment Center for Women in Costa Mesa, California. Go to drphil.com where you can find so much more about this, including a section where moms can share their own revelations. You can always find me on Twitter and Facebook. I pay attention to what you guys are talking about and what you say, and if you go to those sites, you know that sometimes I pop in there and we have a very lively discussion. So maybe I'll see you there. Thanks for being here today. So long.
The following program contains strong sexual content. Viewer discretion is advised. Today on Dr. Phil, she wants her daughter back.
You have had her for the past 2 years.
But her mom's not letting go.
She's not a fit mother, in my view.
I'm not sure you're qualified to make that determination.
America's most watched talk show.
You are responsible for that. Damn it.
Stop it. This is the circus I don't want.
I don't care how you
Dr.
feel.
Phil, I don't want her to keep interrupting me.
She's not my daughter. I can't tell her what to do. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
I hate to see people suffering, and you've heard long enough.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
I'm going to get you the help that you need. 5, 4. This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Go, Dr. Phil.
Thank you very much. All right, take a look at adorable little Desiree. Who would not want to call this smiling face their very own? Well, not only does the baby's mother want her, but so does the baby's grandmother. Now, Mom Rebecca and Grandma Deborah have been in a brutal custody battle for the last 3.5 years over this tiny girl. Rebecca says it is a shocking betrayal that she never saw coming. She accuses her mother of duping her and then stealing and hiding her daughter for 3 months. Take a look.
When Desiree was just 1 year old, my birth mother, Deborah, came to me and said, "Let me help you. That's what family's for." I was really overwhelmed with postpartum depression, but Deborah convinced me that that was okay. A couple months afterwards, Deborah came to me and said she needed me to fill out some documents for immunizations. So I went to the doctor and I filled out paperwork. A few months afterwards, she demanded that I sign a paper and have it notarized that said she had temporary legal guardianship to take care of Desiree's needs. A month or so after, Deborah said that that wasn't good enough. I started to get a little bit hesitant because I had already signed documents. I didn't understand why she needed something from the court. However, she says she's doing this in Desiree's best interest. The following winter, I told her it's time for Desiree to be home, and she said to me, "You are using Desiree to hurt me." And I said, "No, I am not." And then she says to me, "Well, prove it by letting me take Desiree with me." I caved. I woke Desiree up, put shoes on her feet, and I handed her back to Deborah again. That was the last time I saw Desiree for months. I went insane. I called the police. Then all of a sudden, Deborah pulls out this legal guardianship paperwork, and then they say to me that it's a civil issue. I have to take it to court. I cussed her out. She kidnapped my daughter. A couple weeks later, I get a notice in the mail that I was being sued for custody of Desiree. I was livid because I had already said to the woman that I was not going to cooperate with her getting legal custody of Desiree. It was out of the question at this point. I was ready and I was willing to parent my daughter. I wanted her home. Deborah has not seen the inside of my home in 4 years. I have no personal relationship with Deborah now. There is no possibility of having a relationship with this person as mother and daughter. That is dead.
Well, Mother Deborah says no, 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 no. She says Rebecca knew the plan all along and willingly signed over legal custody to her.
The reason I got involved with Desiree was because Rebecca rejected her. She's refusing to do what's necessary to be a good mom. She sends Desiree home with rashes, ear infections, anxiety. Rebecca wanted help with both of her children, and when it came to Desiree, she asked me to continue to keep her full-time. Rebecca had no room set up for her, she had no bed for her, she had no toys, no clothes, she had nothing. I get a phone call from Rebecca that said, "If you don't come and get her, I'm going to leave her with a stranger and you won't know what's going on with her." She was adamant, "I can't keep Desiree. I cannot keep her, you have to." And that's when I said, "You're gonna have to give me a notarized statement giving me legal guardianship because this can't continue to happen." My relationship with Rebecca has become very volatile, hostile, and explosive. And it wasn't that way until after the court custody case got nasty. We cannot have a conversation without it exploding into personal insults and accusations. She will call me a bitch, or I'm a liar, or whatever she feels compelled to say at the moment.
Okay, so you're the grandmother, you're the mother. This is her biological child. She says, "I am ready, willing, and able to raise this child, take care of this child," has 2 other children that she's raising and taking care of her. So why not return this child to its biological mother?
Because she rejected her, and at some point...
That was then, this is now. Why would you not give her biological child back to her?
In July of 2010, that was the third time she said no to taking her child back. I drew a line in the sand. At that point, my focus went from trying to help my biological daughter learn to bond with her child to what's in the best interest of the child. She's not a fit mother, in my view.
Are you an unfit mother? She said you're not a fit mother.
Certainly not an unfit mother. I am a mother of 3 children. The only one who is unhappy is Desiree.
The only one that's been rejected is Desiree.
I have never rejected Desiree.
You said that you had postpartum depression.
Yes.
Was it diagnosed? Or was this something you just recognized?
It was something that I recognized because it had been diagnosed before.
Okay. Did you seek treatment at that time?
I was afraid that they were going to put me on meds, and I really didn't want to go on meds, so no, it went untreated.
You gave your child over to your mother. Now,
that wasn't the intent.
Well, but now wait a minute. You said you were tricked, but you signed papers not once, not twice, but 3 times. I've read the paper, and it says very clearly that you're assigning guardianship until she is 18 years old. How is that a trick?
That was a petition.
This was a short document with a clear statement.
The paper that I signed was the back page of a petition. I didn't know what she had filled out on that petition.
You didn't read what you signed?
All I had was the back page.
Well,
the part where I signed.
But you knew there was more to it.
I didn't know. The back page said, I allow her to look after her, or the legal guardianship, because that's what she said she needed in order for the doctors to be able to recognize her ability to take her, for her to be able to sign immunizations.
Well, here's one thing you said. This is on the 2nd of July of 2010. To whom it may concern, I, Rebecca, grant legal guardianship of my daughter Des over to my mother Deborah indefinitely unless otherwise discussed and agreed in writing. This is signed by the 2 of you, and it's notarized. But you knowingly signed a paper signing over guardianship of your child to someone else, correct?
Yes. She said that's what she needed for Desiree's medical needs.
But how is that a trick?
She came to me and said that she needed something for the doctor's office so she can take care of Desiree's medical needs.
You signed multiple things. This wasn't just like you had a bad day, we're in a hurry, didn't get it. Then there was a final order in November of 10. The appointment of a guardian is necessary because the minor child's mother states that she is unable to care for the child. The child's mother has been unable to adequately meet the minor child's developmental needs. The minor child's mother has asked for and believes it is in the child's best interest to be cared for by her maternal grandmother. The guardian shall remain legally responsible for the minor child until her 18th birthday unless this court modifies or terminates this order.
And that is the petition that she filed. All those things that says that I state this, she actually wrote that in the petition. I did not. That petition, the only page I signed was the last page. The only page I saw was the last page. She said, I've got everything else, don't worry about it. Yeah, all it says was that she was going to be the legal guardian because, again, she told me that what we notarized wasn't good enough for the doctor's office.
Rebecca says she named her daughter Desiree in honor of a child her mother lost to SIDS. She says what started as a heartfelt gesture has actually driven the women apart. Take a look.
Desiree was named after a daughter that Deborah had that she lost.
Rebecca kept asking me repeatedly if she could use the name of my deceased daughter as the name for her baby.
I felt that it would be a good tribute to name my child after her. Deborah was there from birth. She also cut her umbilical cord.
When the custody issue became nasty, one of the first things that Rebecca said to me was, Desiree Starr is my daughter. Desiree Michelle is dead. Get over it. That was very spiteful and unnecessary.
It does seem surreal to me that Deborah has such a significant attachment to only one of my daughters who just happens to share a name of a child that she had that passed away years before.
So you intended this to honor, to recognize, to acknowledge this child that was lost?
Yeah, shortly before Desiree was born, I felt Deborah and I were bonding together. I was about to have a baby. I was coming out of a bad situation, and I asked her permission. I asked her if she would be okay if I named my daughter that I was about to have.
Did you say to her, Desiree Starr is my daughter and Desiree Michelle is dead, get over it?
I don't recall, but it's probable that I said that, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a little harsh, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All right, well, there's a lot more to this story. Next, was Deborah's 4-year-old daughter molested by her older sister? And the lie Rebecca says she caught her mom in. We'll talk about those two things when we come back.
She described me as spiteful, deceitful, hateful.
I am not critical of Rebecca. I just expect her to do what's necessary, and she's refusing.
I hate people like that. Deborah explained to me that Desiree said my oldest daughter put a stick inside Desiree. Deborah was concerned because she considered that sexual abuse. I assured her that I would look into it. The doctors said there was nothing conclusive. My gut tells me that these allegations are foolish attempts to try to determine me unfit in supervising my children.
You think there was molestation?
I say sexual trauma. I do not believe that it was a molestation intent. I think it was simply that they were being unsupervised.
Well, Rebecca says you reported molestation to CPS in September of 2012.
I reported sexual trauma in October of 2012 because that's what I considered it.
Why did you report it? Did you think
Because
that...
it was the third time something sexually or inappropriate touching had happened between the two girls.
Produce me the reports, the accurate
said...
reports that says very specifically that Desiree suffered sexual trauma. You give me those reports because there is none. There is none, Deborah. There is none. It's all in your head. I have had my oldest daughter looked at by a doctor. I've investigated. I've asked all the right questions. Because this woman told me it happened to me when I was younger, which was a lie, too. And so I did a lot of looking into that.
Well, it was reported
and my oldest
by
daughter
an anonymous source that Desiree had been touching herself in the bathtub with a toy rabbit and said that her sister Aurora Kay had taught her this. There are no specific allegations of child abuse or neglect by the caregiver, so this agency is not conducting a formal investigation into this report. That's what the agency found.
They said there's no...
report, that letter was 10 months prior to this final incident that I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that something else had already been going on. This was just something additional.
No, that means what they said is there's nothing going on here. If you have a concern, take them to the doctor.
I think that it's not true, Rebecca, but it is. I'm sorry.
It's not true, Deborah.
I know you would like it to not be true.
My God.
You deny everything, and I'm sorry, but that's just
no. See, when
reality.
you presented me with the concern about the inappropriate touching, I heard you.
There was an acute illness visit at that point, and the physical findings, genitalia, external labia minora, was basically red.
Well, there was a little bit of blood in the urine, too.
There was erythema, there were no abrasions, there was no report. The assessment was UTI and keratosis pilaris. So,
which, by the way, you can get blood in the urinary tract if you have a urinary tract infection. So keep dreaming.
There doesn't appear to have been any damage done or any physical evidence of what was reported to have happened.
The thing is I didn't say it was a severe situation. I said that it was a trauma situation.
If there was trauma, it would say trauma has been found. No. If there was trauma in the description of what you say took place, there would be abrasions. There would be blood on the outside.
You sabotaged every effort I tried to make.
No, I do not.
Can I finish my sentence?
That is a copy of the report that the doctor provided. I wasn't even at that appointment. I didn't even know about that appointment until I went to the doctor.
She has sabotaged every effort I have made to get a forensic evaluation of that situation. She, in a doctor's office, Desiree flat out told her, Sissy can't hurt me ever anymore again. And she repeatedly said that. Every time she talked to her sister, every time she talked to her mother, she said that. It's obvious that you're trying to cover something up because you're not interested in letting me tell anything.
I am so angry with you. I am so angry with you.
Imagine how I feel.
I don't care how you feel at this point, Deborah. You took advantage of me. You are ruining my daughter. Do you have any idea how much pain she has from you? I didn't have her for the past 2 years, and you're saying all this pain is from me? You are out of your mind. You are responsible for that. Stop subjecting her to a world that should not exist to her.
Why did she come back this week with a mark on her? It looks like she got scratched with something. Every week she comes back. Every time she comes back, she comes back with a problem.
She's 4 years old. She's an outdoor child. She loves to play. She tricked
Rebecca.
Are you implying that she is being abused by her?
I'm implying that she's being neglected by her. Not abused, neglected.
Okay, well, you're saying
She's
she
not-
has marks on her here. She has redness. She has rash. Are you, and she's just there for a
Abused?
short period of time.
A week.
How does that happen?
How does that happen?
Yeah, how are you thinking that happens?
Neglect. Appropriate bathing, hygiene stuff that's taken care of. And so that's what
Yeah,
brought
she
about
hasn't been inside my home for 4 years. She hasn't seen me interact in my home with my children in 4 years. So how the heck would you know that? You don't know that. It is your belief. It is your assumption. And I understand. Here's what I understand.
Dr. Phil, I know
I
that-
understand that you believe this.
We always ask our guests when they come on here, no matter what else happens, bottom line, what question do you want Dr. Phil to answer for you? Neither one of you referenced how to determine or ascertain what is in the best interest of this child. Neither one of you addressed in any way what you could do or learn or change to make this child's course through life better. Neither one of you asked that. You ask, is this battle with my mother normal? That's your big question that you have for me. Yours is, how can I tell her to do better with something or tell her things are not right without triggering her? She takes everything personally and as an insult. That's quote. That's your question for me. Not a thing about the child or this child's best interest. And you're right. I am trained as a forensic psychologist. And what this says and does not say speaks volumes to me about both of you. Next, what people might not realize is that Deborah placed Rebecca for adoption when she was a baby. We'll talk about that when we come back.
The day before my adoptive family put me in foster care, I went up to my adoptive mother. She looked at me and said, "No, Rebecca, you're not my child. You were adopted." She explained to me who Deborah was. I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to learn and know about my birth mother. She seriously tried to play me. She wrote me this letter about how sometimes the best thing is to just let go of your kids. When she's speaking from her experience, well, this woman didn't raise her kids. She put us all up for adoption. So how can she sit there and tell me, when I have no interest in letting go of any of my children, that sometimes it's the best thing to let go?
Rebecca says it wasn't easy being adopted. She moved from foster home to foster home and was finally reunited with Deborah at age 16. Take a look.
Between my birth and my emancipation from foster care, I was in over 30 foster homes and group homes. I was put up for adoption when I was 18 months old. When I was 8, they put me back into the foster care system. The day before my adoptive family put me in foster care, I went up to my adoptive mother. She looked at me and said, "No, Rebecca, you're not my child. You were adopted." And she pulled out photographs of my father and my mother, Deborah, and she explained to me who Deborah was. And the picture that she showed me was actually the picture of Deborah pregnant with me. I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to learn and know about my birth mother. And so when I was 11, my caseworker came to me and said, "We know where she is, and we're going to let you write to her."
Now, you said that she hid your daughter from you for 3 months, that she kidnapped her, that she stole away with her, correct?
Yes.
She has legal guardianship of her.
I told her, I'm ready. I want Desiree to just be home now. And she says to me, "No, Rebecca, please don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me. I'm on my way. I'm going to come get her." Well, no, she's asleep.
What's your point in telling me this?
My apologies.
No, that's a question. Answer it. What's your point in telling me this?
She took her, and I didn't get to see her for months.
What
and I
is
didn't.
your point in telling me this? What effect are you wanting to have on me by telling me this? What's your point? What are you trying to impress upon me? What is it you want me to get?
My frustration with. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm sorry.
Can I say something, Dr. Phil?
If it's relevant, and if it's not, I'll stop you, because I am really, really concerned about both of your agendas. Yeah, go ahead.
I
Give
feel
it a
like,
shot.
Okay, well, my intention with Desiree from the very beginning was to help her mom bond with her. And when that wasn't occurring, then it became the best interest of the child. But, you know, I know that Rebecca was, when she was adopted, that she was placed back in foster care, and I was in touch with counselors who tried to help her after that. I don't blame Rebecca for what she struggles with to this day, because I know how her
I struggle
child.
with you.
Please be quiet,
I don't
Rebecca.
struggle with anything
I
else.
know why she struggles, and I completely have a lot of compassion for that. And that's why, as a mother, I stuck with her and tried to help her bond with her child and did whatever I could. And you know, I totally. You know,
How do you
that's
know how
why
to bond
when I
with children?
say,
You didn't raise
when
yours.
I came on the show, what my intention was to do was to, because I know we have this custody battle, and when we walk away from you, Dr. Phil, we have to try to deal with this and face this on our own, just the two of us. I wanted to know, with your professional experience, because it's vast, and because you're obviously very quick at giving advice based on whatever you can evaluate it very quickly. And so what can I do to help communicate my concerns to her without triggering her? Because I really care about being able to communicate with her. And everyone that's a part of this case, that's what their issue is too. If you guys could just
She wants her child
communicate
back.
with each
That's
other.
what you can do.
But that's not going to happen. That's not what I believe is in Desiree's best interest. That's what many people who are in Desiree's life believe as well.
No, that's not what they believe. That's not what they
Contrary
believe.
to what anybody else, any kind of, well, anyway, contrary to what Rebecca is saying, that's not, to me, that's not in her best interest.
I have multiple professionals say I have great family dynamics and great family stability in
So
my
from
home.
you, I
my
just
kids are
really
great
want
and
to
they are
know,
well behaved and they
what is
they
the way
are
that I could
so
start with
smart.
trying to communicate?
Well, I think I'm going to tell you both what I think, and
Because
then we're
that's
done
what
here, because I
everyone
think
says.
you've wasted your time and mine. How many children did you have?
I have 4 children that are alive, and I have a child that was deceased.
And she has a child that was adopted when she was 15.
She's grasping at straws.
Did you lie to me about that, or are you going to lie to him?
How many children did you have?
I have the.
She's
Pardon?
had 6 children.
I have
Altogether.
I have 4 children.
6 children.
One of the, and plus one.
She had a
deceased.
child when she was 15 that was put up for adoption. Her baby passed away, and then she had 4 others.
I had 4 children.
Is that true?
Were alive.
Is what she said true?
She's grasping at straws about
No,
my
I'm
child.
not.
My
That
I'm just
child is
asking,
of-
is the number correct?
I said I have 4 children that are alive, and I have a child that was deceased.
Uh-huh.
And she has a child that was adopted when she was 15. Taken by the state, she told me.
She's talking about my childhood, and my childhood, there's no real.
Was there a child? There was a child. You told me there was a child.
I think you're grasping at straws and trying to create.
Is it
something
true or is
that's
it not? Did you lie to me about that, or are you going to lie to him?
I'm just curious.
I have 4 children, and then I have one that's deceased.
So you did not have one earlier that you placed for adoption, which may have been the right thing to do. I'm not criticizing if you did.
I have no other children. I have 4 children, and I have a deceased child.
All right. So she's lying.
She's grasping at straws.
Am I lying?
She's grasping
Am
at
I
straws
lying?
to try to bring in a childhood, whatever child things.
I'm not wanting to bring up your childhood. He asked you about how many kids you had. It's not
I have
about your
4
childhood.
children.
And how many of those children did you raise?
I have 4 children, and her and her 2 sisters had the same father, so they were adopted by the same family. And there were a lot of factors
How
that
many of
went
them
into
did you
that. And I raised my son.
No, you didn't. He came to you when he was in high school.
Rebecca,
You sent him to his father. He told me that too,
I'm glad
as
you're
well as
such
you did.
I'm so glad you're so knowledgeable about my.
So you had 4 children, and she says that you raised none of them.
I raised my son, though.
From high school on.
So you
That's different.
adopted.
You're
you
welcome
placed
to
3.
believe her if you'd like.
No, I'm asking you. I'm not even paying attention to her. I'm looking at you and asking you. And you know, I'm interested not only in the answer to the question, but whether or not you're willing to be honest with me about it. Because
my son,
having
I
been
raised my
trained as
son.
a forensic psychologist, I hear what's said and what isn't said as well. And the same thing
That's
is going to
why
be true. The same thing is going to be true when the court does a study and makes a determination about this. And trust me, they'll watch this show and they'll watch this conversation and they'll make a determination as to whether you're being honest or not.
And I'm okay with that, Dr. Phil.
So
I really
I'm just
am.
asking you.
I raised my son.
You placed you had 4 children that are alive, you say.
Correct.
1 that was deceased, sorry for
Correct.
your loss about that, and 1 that's a straw grasping thing that we're not talking
I don't
about.
have one that's a straw grasping thing.
That we're talking about.
That wasn't a fair comment.
But you did raise your son. You did raise your son.
I did raise my son.
The other 3 that are alive you placed for adoption.
Correct.
Okay? And so I'm curious if you're clinging to this child because you're wanting a second chance.
I know you are, but that's not true.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just asking.
You said curious. I said I know you are.
Have you considered that?
Yes, I have.
I'm looking at motives here, and I'm trying to determine whether or not there is some basis for you two ever cooperating and collaborating here. You said, how can I communicate with her where I don't trigger her? Well, you said she's an unfit mother.
Mm-hmm.
She has 2 other children.
So how do you communicate with unfit mothers without triggering them?
Well, it might be the pot calling the kettle black. I don't know.
Unfortunately, you don't live it, Dr. Phil. So
No, I
if you
don't.
were living in my environment every
don't
day,
know.
you would see.
That's
okay.
see, that's
If you were living in my environment, you would see. If you came and saw my environment
Rebecca.
or the girls' environment, you would see. But you don't
Rebecca,
want
I
to step
didn't
in
want to
there.
come on this show to dog you. That was not my intention.
It's not my intention
The only
either.
reason that you have your 2 children in your house now is because you have a husband who is paternal. You are absolutely not
Really
maternal.
paternal?
I am very sorry, but you know what? You do not have a bonding bone in your body. Nate is the person that is bonding.
And you know why that is? Because
And you know
I
what,
never
Dr.
got
Phil?
raised
This
by
is the
you.
circus I don't want.
If that's your accusation,
You can either stop the circus from happening or we can just let it go because I really did not want to do this. I don't want to hurt her. My goal is not to hurt her. I am not interested in
My
this.
point is, hold it, hold it, hold
well,
it, hold
but
it,
you
hold
know
it.
what?
Coming at me
Hold
personally.
it.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
You can't choose to unplug if you don't like the questions.
Stop it. 2010.
Dr. Phil, would you please let me talk? I don't want her to keep interrupting.
Well, she's
The
not
thing
my
is,
daughter.
I think you're really cutting me off and not giving me credit for what I have done.
My point is, you are being judgmental, you are being critical.
What's judgmental?
And we often, when you say she is an unfit mother,
Well, but
I'm not sure you're really qualified to make that determination.
I don't think.
Seriously, I'm not.
Well, but that's because
I'm
you
not
don't
because
live it
I don't
every
have the
day.
history. But it just seems really ironic to me when you say you don't have a bonding bone in your body. Well, at 18 months, you placed her for adoption. She wound up in 30 foster homes across time where every attachment she had was breached. Then the next attachment breached. The next attachment breached.
Absolutely.
And the first link in that chain, lady, was you.
It was. You're absolutely
And so
right.
then you say you don't know how to make an attachment. What you should be saying is, I am so very sorry that a choice that I made subjected you to a lifetime of broken attachments and broken relationships, and now I want to figure out how I can help you to fill that void, how I can help you to do what needs to be done.
I've done that. That's why
So
I
from
had her.
March 2010 to
Stop
July
it.
2010.
Dr. Phil,
That's
would
not
you
a really
please let me
long
talk?
time.
I don't want her interruption. You need to.
Oh
this
my
is the
God,
circus I don't want.
tiny.
Do you not get that that's what happened?
What is the circus that you're
I don't want. I want to stop being interrupted. I can't talk, and I just don't want it.
Well,
I don't want a battle with her. I just really. If you want to hear what I have to say, then I just don't want to be. I don't want her to keep interrupting me.
Well, she's
The
not
thing
my
is-
daughter. I can't tell
The
her
thing
what
is
to do.
that that's what I did. I had both of her children
Right.
until July of 2010.
Right.
And remember, Desiree was born in 2009. So February of 2009. So if I had both of those children and she refused to take Desiree back, I mean, what was I doing with her children if it wasn't that I was trying to help her? If I didn't, and you haven't been with us to know. She said we were trying to build a relationship. Do you not think that I took that step to say, look, I
don't think you know how to have a relationship.
I am so devastated by what has happened to you in your life. And I just sat here and told you, I don't blame her for how the things that she has struggled with, because I know it's because of her childhood, and I know I contributed to that. I have done that with her, Dr. Phil. You know what? I have a bachelor's degree. I'm almost done with a master's degree in social work. I have done a lot of work in children's behavior and human behavior, because I'm a survivor of my own stuff. And so the thing is that, I think you're really cutting me off and not giving me credit for all of the work that I've done and effort that I have done to try to help her
You
as
don't
a
know
mother.
what I'm thinking.
Well, I, that's just what I feel. No, I'm sure. I believe that. I don't think you're giving me credit. I think that.
Yeah.
I think you're not giving me credit for what I have done because you haven't seen it. And I know that's
I
not
think-
something that you're going to be able to do in such a short
I
time.
think you're not being honest about one thing. I think when she asked for that baby back, you didn't give her back because you had fallen in love with that baby and it broke your heart to think about her not being there with you.
No, you're wrong, though. So you're very wrong. I know that it sounds right because her name is Desiree, and I've lost my Desiree.
It doesn't have to do with the name.
Rebecca, please stop.
I wasn't thinking
you
about that.
You are so absolutely ridiculous.
What I was thinking about.
Why would I not give her back
That would
and
be
give the
another-
other one back? Because I had both of them.
No, you did not have both of them.
Rebecca, that's a lie.
You didn't want Aurora Kay because you don't like my oldest daughter.
You're
you don't
lying.
like Aurora Kay.
You're lying.
No,
You
exactly
are
what happened.
absolutely lying.
I am not lying.
Yes,
These are
you
my
are.
kids,
I
Deborah,
don't
and I
care.
don't
You
care
are
enough
lying.
about you at this point to lie.
You are lying.
Can I ask you a question? It's just helping me
Please do.
sort this out. You said that you've got a bachelor's degree and almost have finished your degree in social work,
Master's in social work.
so
yes.
MSW.
Mhm.
And I assume that's true. I've not looked at your transcripts, and I don't know what courses.
I would not lie to you, Dr. Phil.
I'm not sure what courses you haven't taken. But what I'm curious about is if you believe that she is a ridiculous, lying, unfit mother, why would you give back one of her children?
Well, let me tell you why. At that time, she was getting ready within 6 months to start Head Start. So she was going to be in a public schooling. And then she also, her biological father had come into her life. There was a safety net for her.
So was
worst case
was
scenario.
that child better off in her home with her or better off with you?
Well, I didn't feel like she was better off either way. I didn't feel like she was going to be neglected to a point where somebody on the outside
It
wouldn't
just seemed
see
odd
it.
that if you think she's unfit, you'd give back one but not the other.
I
You're
gave her
okay to go
back-
with an unfit, but you're not.
I gave her back to her with other people in her life. She had a boyfriend who lived in the house. That child's father was in her life. So you're wrong, Dr. Phil. It wasn't about, she was not a single mother when I gave her back. I think that because this is just a TV show, you're not really going to be able to understand me in depth, and that's fine.
Well, like you said, it's just a TV show. In this case, where you have a vested interest, you might not be objective.
Well, I can totally respect that, Dr. Phil, and I think that because this is just a TV show, you're not really going to be able to understand me in depth, and that's fine. I understand that.
Well, like you said, it's just a TV show.
Well, not just a TV show, but it's a TV show where it just goes so fast. It's not like you lived with me to know how things have happened.
No, I understand.
And that's why this case really isn't really a good case for a TV show, because there's so many details and facts about it that it just makes it really hard.
It is quite complex, but
It is,
what I
very.
do know is that there's been very little rhetoric from either one of you about what truly is in the best interest of this child is at this point, where she is in terms of hitting her developmental markers intellectually and emotionally. And I think that that's going to have to be determined, and I certainly hope that the court appoints an attorney ad litem here. I certainly hope that ad litem is active and gets an independent child psychologist and or psychiatrist to come in and evaluate everything going on with this child and the dynamic in each of your homes. And I'm going to have a really important recommendation to the two of you. If the two of you are smart, you will sit down and work out something that both of you can live with that allows this child to flourish with stability and love and consistency. Because when you put these matters into the hands of the court, you put these into the hands of a third party, it's basically going to be determined by somebody that just went to law school and decided to become a judge. And neither one of you present a very clear persona that is one you would want the court to embrace. I can assure you, you both have histories that cause you to come into question in terms of your ability to make proper judgments and properly nurture this child. Both of you have displayed conduct in this warfare that suggests that you're running your agenda at the expense of the child. Neither one of you are going to play off very well in that situation. You are way better off to negotiate this privately between yourself and get the government out of your family.
That's what everyone says, is that there's such a hostility between us that it doesn't appear that we are able to even see what's in the best interest of the child.
I will offer to provide and bring in a professional and private mediator to sit down with the two of you and try to broker something to keep this family intact. Because I'm telling you, you go to court, you ain't going to like it.
Well,
it's just whichever one is going to like it the least. You better do this. Will you take that help if I offer it?
Well, I would absolutely take the help for them to help us communicate, absolutely.
Would you take that help?
Yes.
And you need to remember one thing, your agenda is what is best for this child. And hopefully it's some combination of the two of you with an understanding of what the objective and the agenda is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've got to stop. We're out of time. We'll be right back. Well, our Twitter's blowing up as we're talking here. Jeanette Fuller says, family members need to work together for the benefit of the child. Fam Life Tidbit says, if they both love the girl so much, they'll find a way to come together and blanket her in love and care. Healed Heart says, salute to you, Mom, when you stepped up for your granddaughter. However, now it is time to release her to her mom. Those are just three of the examples of what's coming up. For more information on custody battles, go to drphil.com. There will be a lot of information there. I want to thank all of my guests for being here, and we'll see you next time. So long.
The following program contains strong sexual content. Viewer discretion advised. Today on Dr. Phil, she accuses her mother of sex abuse and murder.
This is a timeline that you have put together.
But where's the evidence?
What happened to the body?
It was just an unsolved crime.
She claims she was violated in high school.
Raped while on a double date with Denise. Denise denies that happened.
I would have to hear that from her.
Well, you're going to hear it from her. Joining us is Tracy's friend, Denise.
What will a polygraph reveal?
Please tell me the lie detector test results on my mom.
Are her memories real or imagined?
They are very real to her. I'm the last line of defense to this woman, mister.
You want to get up on your hind legs and bark, find out what the hell you're talking about before you are enabling this woman. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
I hate to see people suffering, and you've heard long enough.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
Wilson, take
I'm going to get you the help that you need.
In 5, 4.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. Yesterday, we spent an hour talking to a family torn apart by unbelievable accusations. Tracy says she has been haunted by dark childhood memories of murder and molestation involving both of her parents. She claims her entire family is covering up their dark and twisted past. But Tracy's mother and siblings say Tracy is a liar and needs to stop making up these sick stories. Here's a recap of what happened.
After the death of my father, I started remembering things from my childhood, abuse, sexual abuse. My father started molesting me around the age of 4 or 5.
You were molested by your father while your mother watched.
Mm-hmm.
You said that you recall your dad paid off people by letting them have sex with you.
That was one of my fears.
Was a fear or is a memory?
I do like this. I have memories, and I have memories. I believe that my mom killed my sister's best friend and buried her in the backyard.
There was a big fight and an argument.
Yes.
And then your mother gave you a gun to shoot this person in the head.
Yes.
Was the person already dead?
Yes. My family states that they don't believe me and that it never happened.
These are crazy allegations. Tracy was never sexually abused in our home. My husband never molested anyone.
I remember my sister having the abuse done to her. I can remember my sister doing bicycle exercises in bed. She said, "You need to do them too. We're making our legs strong so that Daddy can't pull our legs apart."
Tracy is crazy. My sister and I were not molested by my father. Nobody was ever buried in our backyard. Nobody was ever murdered.
Tracy is delusional. She has taken this just too far.
Did this stuff happen?
No, it did not.
It's just so ludicrous. It never happened, any of it.
I have asked my family for help over and over and over.
Dr. Phil, I was told not to call her. She's told me to go to hell.
I didn't. I invited you to my home. I went to your home at Thanksgiving time.
Okay, time out. You believe that this woman has molested and abused you, and that she has murdered people and buried them in your backyard.
Yes.
Why would you go to Thanksgiving at this woman's house? I do not believe that you are intentionally fabricating anything.
No, God, no.
The truth is knowable. We're going to try to figure out what is and what isn't. Is everybody ready to hear the truth here? Now, you've spent a lot of time in your life figuring this out. This is a...
tons of time.
This is a timeline that you have put together.
It was recommended by the first...
color-coded.
First psychiatrist I saw.
Yeah, it's a type of journaling activity they wanted you to do to try to organize.
Yes, in case it was false memory or in case it was repressed memory, and they thought it was a combination of both.
Right.
They said that doing a timeline of active and factual memories can help.
Makes perfect sense.
May I say that when they first went to the psychiatrist and they told me that they needed to do a timeline, I said, let's get us all together. What one person doesn't remember, another one will. And Tracy insisted we not talk together to each other. She didn't want us to talk to each other about it. She would not let us get all together. She would not let us help. Yeah. She wouldn't let me do anything.
The foremost authoritative person that we spoke to, Dr. Simpson, in false memory syndrome, told us to not speak with family members about this. That if we did any speaking at all, we're not to do it face-to-face.
Why are you so angry when you
writing.
say that? Why do you have such an angry tone to your voice when you say that?
He doesn't realize he even has an angry tone when he talks like that.
Because that's
just Marty.
You mean to fix that later?
That's just Marty.
Good luck with that. But I'm just being directive and to the point.
Yeah, well, you come across as really hostile.
Well,
I'm just saying. I'm just glad to hear you're not. That's just the way you speak, right?
Can I directly address the...
You don't need to defend yourself. There's nothing to defend.
We're trying to explain why we didn't.
I wanted her help. I didn't want my sister at first and my brother at first. And my brother, I haven't spoken to this entire time. I've never spoken a word to him about it. I didn't want them to have the hurtful memories in their head. that I was having, and I didn't want him to process it. I've never said a
Tracy,
word to you about Dad.
In the spring of 2012, you had a 3-hour marathon phone call with me where you had talked about how you were exploring all these, and you had thought and knew at that time that the memories of what you were thinking of Dad did to you didn't happen. You had told me that on the phone. That was at the same time you told me you were using crystal as a memory enhancer.
I have never told you any details at all.
I want to focus on the important issues here. Do you think I care about some phone call and how much detail you went into with your brother? It just doesn't matter. What matters is, were you molested? Were you violated? Were you given a gun to shoot somebody in the head? These are things that matter to me. Here's what you said. She was shot in our home, and we blamed my sister.
You say she has no reason to lie. If it happened to me, I'll be very ashamed of it. I'm sure she'd want to be on the Dr. Phil show with that.
And later, Tracy insisted that her mother, Donna, take a polygraph test to prove that she has no knowledge of the molestations or murder.
Please tell me the lie detector test results on my mom.
You were asked 2 questions on that test. The results were...
I do not agree with any of Tracy's allegations. Tracy has accused me numerous times of lying to cover this up. She's convinced that I remember it and I'm just not telling her. I'm not covering up anything for my mom.
We certainly didn't bury anyone in our backyard. It's just so far out. Never was a child harmed in our home.
You did a timeline, I did a timeline, because I wanted to help organize your thinking in a way I could understand it. And you can see it right over here.
I can't see my brother Greg is in the way.
Okay, well, he'll go sit in my chair. Okay, you said in 1970 your dad molested you and Sister Kelly in the bedroom.
Yes.
Okay? That you took Kelly's place being molested because Kelly attempted suicide. And when I asked you about that, you said she just couldn't take it anymore.
Yes.
And you had said that she slashed her wrists.
It occurred when she was in the 7th or 8th grade.
Okay. We have close-up pictures here of her wrist. We have her wrist here. And there's an absence of scars on her wrist.
Good enough.
So she didn't slash her wrists. Now, I've been doing this 35 years. I've seen a lot of people that have scratched their wrist as a cry for help, and a lot of people that have cut their wrist in an attempt to kill themselves.
Right.
I see evidence of neither here.
Okay.
Just so you know. So as you can click these things off, there's no evidence that supports that. Dad and grandfather sexually abused you at the same time. Did that happen?
No.
Okay, good. Babysitter Josie shot and killed by
Josie.
Kelly.
Oh, no. I didn't say by Kelly.
Okay, who shot and killed?
I don't know.
Okay.
Regardless, it was the same time, no wrongful death.
We never had a Josie as a babysitter.
What happened to the body? Is this one of the ones that was buried in the backyard?
No, it was just an unsolved crime.
This is Doug Kane right here. Doug, say hello.
Hello.
Your findings are?
Did you do a search for a Josie that would have been 15 years old at this time, which would have been 1975-ish? Was there a death of a Josie in this area at the time that's unsolved?
No, there wasn't anybody by that name that we found. We didn't come across anything, and there was no unsolved crime from that time.
No unsolved crime.
Okay,
And here's what you said in your pre-interview to us, and this is verbatim. This was transcribed. I remember a babysitter named Josie who used to watch us. She was shot in our home, and we blamed my sister. It was an accidental shooting. Her sister, Marion, spit in my face and said, "You killed my sister."
Yes.
We had to leave Oxnard in the middle of the night, and we're not allowed to say goodbye to anyone.
Okay, and I did not put all those memory flashes together. I was specifically doing flash, memory flash, memory flash. And yes, but I did not say that I said Kelly was blamed for it. I didn't say I thought that she killed her.
Okay, well, there was no Josie, and there was no wrongful death.
Yes.
There's no unsolved
There's
crime
no
in that
unsolved
area.
crime.
And I'm wanting you to hear this too, because if she
No,
has
I
trouble
know.
getting her hands around this,
understand.
you don't want to enable a false memory by being supportive of your wife. You want to be supportive of the truth.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can only go by something that's proven.
And there you have it.
Continue on.
Thank you. He can give me permission. It's okay. Dad's friend Bob molested his own daughter Terry and impregnated her.
I did not know that. That was a story I was told. That's one of the things I wanted to have asked.
We did speak with Terry,
Oh, good.
and she says that her father did not molest her and did not father her son.
Good.
And she has no reason to lie.
No. Well,
so-
no.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd want to be on the Phil show with that, Dr. Phil show with that.
Well, she could
And
easily have said,
perhaps
I don't
it
want to
did.
talk to you.
I understand.
There were people that said they didn't want to talk.
DNA is powerful.
What's your
Never.
point here?
I'm just saying that you say she has no reason to lie. I say it's something that if it happened to me, I would be very ashamed of, and I would not want it to have it aired on the Dr. Phil show. That's my point.
Well, I'll tell you what, she's on the phone, so let's just talk to her. There's an allegation your husband was involved in sex parties and raping Tracy.
Dr. Phil, I've been listening to this, and it is bizarre.
And later,
I had text messages from 2 years ago when my granddaughter was born that you sent me that I gave to the producers talking about that when you were hypnotized in the 90s that you made up stories about Dad and his friends. My sister Tracy is a liar.
I never saw any indications or any signs of any abuse in our household.
I never saw anything. My father never touched any of his children, never.
My parents never had sex parties. The only parties I remember my parents having were poker parties on Friday nights.
Tracy is delusional.
Dad's friend Bob molested his own daughter Terry and impregnated her. She says that her father did not molest her and did not father her son.
If it happened to me, I would be very ashamed of it, and I would not want it to have it aired on the Dr. Phil show. That's my point. And that DNA doesn't lie.
So you think Terry's lying?
I'm just saying that it
That
could
there would be
be.
reason.
Well, I'll tell you what, she's on the phone, so let's just talk to her. We reached out to Terry, who says that never happened, and she has proof
I don't
that
know.
her ex-boyfriend is the father of her son. Terry, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you for talking to us about this. We really appreciate it. I'm trying to help this family here, and the only way I can do that is by getting to the truth. Were you molested by your father?
No, sir.
Did he father a son for you?
No, sir.
The father of your son is an ex-boyfriend, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And how
His
do you...
name is on the
birth certificate
paperwork.
Yes.
And everything.
And I cannot show that paperwork because it is confidential.
Sure.
Right.
But I have seen that paperwork. He is the father, and it's documented very, very clearly.
Good enough.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Terry,
Thank you.
Terry, we're going to say goodbye because we have to move on, but it's very, very helpful that you have called in today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for helping us.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay. All right. Next thing up was Dad's friend Bob raped Tracy at sex parties. Producers talked to Bob's widow, Sarah, and she certainly denies any of that
course,
happening.
yeah. But if Terry does as a child and she's moved on, then that kind of handled that one.
Sarah's on the phone right now as well. Sarah?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. There's an allegation here that your husband has passed, I'm sorry for your loss, was involved in sex parties and raping Tracy during that time. Can you shed any light on this?
Dr. Phil, I've been listening to this, and it is the most bizarre. I can't imagine nothing like that happened. We were close, good friends, and there was no sex.
Well, Sarah, we have to move along here, but I want to thank you for calling in. It means a lot to Tracy and
Thank
her
you,
family,
Sarah.
so thank you very
Yes,
much.
thanks, Sarah.
You're so welcome, so welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, then a couple things that we've talked about. You said Tracy's friend Craig was killed by Dad.
We talked to Craig.
I know. We found him too. He's alive and well and living on the West Coast. Foster child Betty, brother confirmed with our PI Doug Kane and producer that Betty's alive and now mother of 2.
Yes,
We spoke to her brother.
Right. Kelly's friend Tina that was killed
We
by your mom.
spoke to her.
Doug Kane spoke to Tina. She's alive.
spoke to her.
Kelly's friend Carrie killed by
Did
your
you
mother.
have a friend named Carrie?
No, I never had a friend named Carrie.
Producer, hold on, one conversation at a time. Producer spoke to the alleged victim's sister, Krista, says she doesn't have a sister named Carrie.
No, and
You
I
were
didn't
friends
put
with
the two of
Krista.
them together 'cause they're not related. And I did not say they were.
Do you, are you picking up a pattern here?
I'm picking up that I could really start getting to deal with false memory instead of fake memory, instead of real memory.
Yeah. You know, we go on, dad and friends at the sex parties. We talked about gang rape by dad and friend requiring you to be medically repaired.
Mm-hmm. That came from a doctor's note
Okay.
when I was 19.
Date raped while on a double date. Hold on. Date raped while on a double date with Denise. And you said that there was a time that your mother violated you as well.
Not sexually, not what I would consider sexually, no.
Well, I don't want to be too graphic here, but
When we were talking about the injury and the girl that was at the
She
house,
believes that
yes.
to be true, yes. We're talking about a pocket knife here.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
We looked at the OBGYN reports, and they show no lesions at all.
This is not the doctor that examined me, and the doctor
No, I'm
that...
saying this
No,
came
I'm saying-
after.
Yes.
So that would include what was there before and after.
He said he would re-examine me, that at the time that I was pregnant, he said he would have remarked no lesions, et cetera, et cetera. The doctor that I had seen before him is the doctor that made a comment to me about it. But as far as the way things are going right now, we could be talking about all just false memory. That's what we can hope for.
Now, you date raped while on a double date with Denise. Denise just denies that happened.
I would have to hear that from her.
Okay, well, Tracy's best friend Denise says she was supportive until she started doing her own investigation. We're going to find out what made her doubt her longtime friend, because you said you're going to have to hear that from her. Well, you're going to hear it from her.
Okay.
Plus, Donna agreed to take a polygraph test. Those results when we come back.
Please tell me that.
Tracy started mentioning more and more people from our past that had known about the abuse. Tracy believes that nobody will come forward and tell the truth about what happened to her because Donna has dirt on them or a power over them. She believes Donna even has the power to cause harm to me or her children.
My mom said, I'll do whatever I need to do. She said, I'll even take a lie detector test. My mom did not pass that test.
I have no idea why I failed the test. I have no problem taking another lie detector test. I had nothing to hide.
Denise says her best friend from childhood, Tracy, has accused her now deceased father of molesting her. Then she accused her mother, Donna, of not only killing her sister's friend, but also forcing Tracy to shoot the next door neighbor. Now, Denise says Tracy is going down a dark path and her flashbacks keep getting worse and worse. Take a look.
Tracy and I have been friends since 7th grade. When we were kids, I would spend the night at Tracy's house. Nothing ever happened with Alan. He never made me feel uncomfortable. If he was a pedophile, I would have been very easy pickings, and he never even tried. I never saw any signs of abuse. It seemed like a healthy, normal family. In the very beginning, when she first told me about the allegations, I really didn't know what to believe. She was very sincere in what she was saying. She was passionate about it. It was very real to her. The more she talked about it, the bigger the story got, the more elaborate the abuse became. Tracy started mentioning more and more people from our past that had known about the abuse. I'd get on the laptop and I'd start searching. I would try to locate that person and have a conversation and find out if that information was accurate. And nobody could confirm anything that she remembered. Tracy believes that nobody will come forward and tell the truth about what happened to her because Donna has dirt on them or a power over them. When I heard the whole thing of Tracy thinking there was a child buried in the yard, I'd start searching anything I could think of, missing children, unidentified bodies. Each time I would research a person, I would actually find them alive and well. I would tell Tracy this. Then a week later, it would be another name and another body. Tracy believes that her mother had hypnotized her to make her forget the abuse. She believes Donna even has the power to cause harm to me or her children. I've known Donna since I was 13. Donna does not seem like a violent person. She's not scary or intimidating. I'm very worried about Tracy. I'm worried about her mental well-being. Tracy gains nothing by making all this up and lying, so I don't think she's lying. She believes it in her heart of hearts.
Well, joining us now in the audience is Tracy's friend, Denise. Denise, thank you for coming here today for Tracy. You're being a very good friend to her.
Beyond.
So one of her allegations, as you have seen, she was date raped while on a double date with you.
Well, I don't deny that that happened. I just deny that I saw anything or anything abnormal then or after that.
So you have no knowledge of it?
We were together, but they were in a different room for a short period of time. And when they came back out, everything seemed fine. She never confided in anything. She didn't stop dating him. Nothing changed. But I just can't speak for what happened behind a door I didn't see.
But she came out of the room. Was she upset? Did she tell you anything had happened to her? Did she report anything to you later that night, anytime during the night?
Not that I can recall.
Did we have a conversation at all where you had said that you thought something was off that evening?
I remember the night because it was always a Wednesday night, and I didn't remember anything abnormal, and it was just a night like every other night. I'm not saying that I know what happened. I'm just saying that nothing was abnormal after.
Please tell me the lie detector test results on my mom.
You tell me what your conclusion is based on hearing from Denise and others that we've had on the phone, Terry and...
I think that when they were in doing the hypnosis, that she really messed my memories up. Not her, the therapist. That's what it sounds like. And if you tell me the lie detector test, then I can give my mom a hug.
But Tracy...
And then we can start working on how we get these gone. Because I don't like them. I don't want them. I don't want to deal with them.
I had text messages from 2 years ago when my granddaughter was born that you sent me that I gave to the producers talking about that when you were hypnotized in the 90s that you made up because you thought it was funny. You made up stories about Dad and his friends because you thought it was funny. They're your texts. They're from you.
Kelly,
they verify.
I did make up a story. I don't know what that... I can remember telling the therapist that there were flowers and candles in the room. That's something Denise and I worked on and took care of a long time ago.
Well, Donna did cooperate. She agreed to take a polygraph test, and they were very specific questions. This time the test was administered by expert polygraph examiner Jack Tremarco. And after the break, I'll tell you the results.
Oh, God. Oh,
Lord. You were asked 2 questions on that test. Did you ever bury a human body on your property? The results were... Donna, her daughter Kelly, and her son Greg say that no longer do they have any relationship with Donna's other daughter, Tracy, because of what they claim are false allegations of sex abuse and murder. They say they want to figure out what's going on with Tracy's brain and get legitimate help for her because they question the help that she has gotten up to this point. What I've tried to do here is make a distinction between repressed memories, which I'll talk about here in a minute, and false memories. But one thing that you can always do is try to find objective evidence, hard evidence, to corroborate or not the memories that you have, which is the best way to distinguish between repressed and false. I think we've gone through virtually everything here. We have corroboration that your grandfather touched you inappropriately, at least on one occasion. Beyond that, I found no objective evidence whatsoever of any memory or memory mutation as it's changed across time. Tracy insisted that her mother, Donna, take a polygraph test to prove that she has no knowledge of the molestations or murder. Now, Donna agreed to take that test that Tracy set up in their area to put her daughter's mind at ease, but it only added more fuel to the fire when she failed. Now, we asked our polygraph expert, Jack Tremarco, to review this test. He did not administer it, he reviewed it. The test questions are below. It was, when Tracy was a minor, did you ever encourage or have direct knowledge of Tracy having any sexual contact with Alan? That would be the father. And the others are pretty much the same. There were 4. The next one said, when Kelly was a minor, did you ever encourage or direct knowledge of Kelly having any sexual contact with Alan? To your direct knowledge, did Alan ever seriously hurt or kill Betty? Now, Jack, that before you knew the results or how it fit in this story at all, I asked you to review that protocol, and you did, correct?
I did.
And what was your conclusion?
Well, it was a polygraph report, and in fairness to everyone involved, I didn't get to look at charts, and I didn't get to look at any other documentation or a video. So my opinion was just strictly based on review of the report. In particular, the 3 relevant questions that were posed in that exam.
And those questions were flawed?
Very flawed.
Because they are compound?
Compound questions, and 3 different issues.
And what's the problem with 3 different issues?
He threw 3 separate issues into one test when there should have been 3 separate tests.
Right. And it was not?
It was not.
And the question that she had the worst measurement on, the worst reaction on, was the one about the death of the foster child, which we know is alive.
We do.
Do you believe that you got a fair test from Mr. Tremarco?
Yes, I do.
Did he talk with you ahead of time,
Yes.
explain all the terms and conditions?
Yes, he did.
So
That's
you acknowledge he gave you time to calm down, answer
Yes,
the questions, do the whole thing?
Yes.
Was this a good test, in your opinion? Were there any countermeasures? Was there any attempt to be deceitful in her conduct or to create artifact in the protocol?
No, she was quite cooperative. Nervous at the onset, but I expect that. And she tended to calm down. She was cooperative, no countermeasures.
You were asked 2 questions on that test. Did you ever bury a human body in the backyard? Your answer was?
No.
And then a second way of asking the same question, did you bury a human body on your property?
No.
And the results were that you were being non-deceptive. You were telling the truth when that was answered. Jack, was this a close call?
In order for her to have passed this exam, she would have needed a +2 or above, and Donna was a +8.
+8. What do you have to say?
Can I hug my mom?
You do whatever you want. I'm just asking you a question. You do whatever you want.
Hug me, Trace, but we got a lot of work to do.
I don't care about the work. I don't care about the work.
Get to my clothes. We gotta get out.
I can get up. Oh, that's right.
So, Tracy, we've looked at allegations of molestation by father and friends and being passed around sex parties and multiple murders, shootings, bodies being buried. And the truth is, we have not found one shred of evidence to support any of it, and we have found mountains of evidence to support the contrary. Talk to the actual
That is
people.
the best news ever.
Yeah. You can say it's just tone or whatever you want, but you need to not be supporting these memories in her. That's enabling her.
I'm the last line of defense to this woman, mister.
I asked Dr. Charles Sophie to join us today. He's the medical director for the County of Los Angeles Department of Children and Family Services. He's a psychiatrist. He is a very well-known author. He's also a member of the Dr. Phil Advisory Board. And Dr. Sophie, let's talk about the difference between repressed memories and false memories. Let's put up a definition first of false memory syndrome. It says an apparent memory of an imagined event, usually traumatic and remote in time, generally used pejoratively to imply that the memory was engendered by the therapist, facilitating its recovery. Obviously a controversial concept. Dr. Sophie, what happens here?
I mean, it becomes a suggested thought that then the person then believes, and then they start to add to it as they go through it, and then they grow and they grow and they grow.
So much like a lawyer would be accused of leading a witness, a therapist, and in this case, in 1991, a therapist observed that you seemed to be behaving as though you had been molested. You said, no, 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 and the therapist said, well, don't believe that. So went straight to hypnosis. And hypnosis is based on suggestion, correct?
Correct, and then it becomes a reality in her mind.
Now, let's talk about repressed memory, an event that occurred in a subject's past, the memory of which was actively repressed, often because of the psychologically devastating impact of that memory. Now, you know, what this is saying is that a repressed memory can be something that's just too terrible to think about. So your consciousness pushes it out of your attention, even though you continue to behave in a way that's impacted by it. And we have, you have to understand, even this, you know, people that come back 20 years later and say, oh, I've just had this repressed memory, and it's almost, not always, but frequently involves sexual molestation. And it's a very controversial concept. I have to tell you, I was in private practice for over a decade, never saw a legitimate circumstance that I considered to be repressed memory. Doesn't mean that they haven't occurred, but I haven't seen it. You know, she's not been a hardcore addict, but she has used drugs throughout this time. Neurologically speaking, does this help or hurt?
It hurts. Because I think I heard somebody say that you felt that methamphetamine was a memory enhancer. I don't know whoever told you that is wrong. It's a drug. It's a street drug. And you're throwing off your brain chemistry. So, yeah, you're going to feel good, but it's not used as a memory enhancer. That's a sales tactic.
And as real as this can...
It was a psychiatrist that told me that.
But Tracy told us, she told me personally she was using methamphetamine during this time because it was bringing in her memories much clearer.
And it makes believing it makes her memory more vivid.
It might have been bringing in visions, but not necessarily memories, is the point. I mean, it can cause you to things be...
It was a psychiatrist that told me. Of course, she did not tell me to use the methamphetamines at all. She said, don't, because it increased anxiety. I had stopped taking the Adderall and was having trouble functioning and thought, we'll wrap it all up in one.
Yeah, but you understand that memories can be implanted.
Well, and we wanted to believe that in the very, very beginning. Absolutely.
But you do understand that, right?
Oh, yes, very much.
There's been major studies done about this. Loftus did a Lost in the Mall. It's called Lost in the Mall study. Right. Porter did another study where they would show people videos and then discuss it with them afterward and add things that weren't in the video. And the people would eyewitness report with 100% confidence that they had seen things that did not happen.
We never dismissed that.
We never have dismissed that.
Do you get that by all signs it points to the fact that this just didn't happen?
Yes, and
These
I love
things
it.
did not happen?
Yes.
And that means this should be a very happy day.
And that means I can have my family back.
After the things that have been said and the things that you've done, though, I mean, how can we come back from that?
We have been saying this the whole time, and you've been nasty and mean, and I have to explain to my 17-year-old, you told her that you used to beat her up.
They are very, very real to her, and you need to understand that.
That's what we were trying to say at the time, was just that. They could be real.
Look, you can say it's just tone or whatever you want, but you need to not be supporting these memories in her. That's enabling her.
He has never.
I'm the last line of defense to this woman, mister. And I ain't going to let anybody get to her.
You need to make certain that you are not becoming part of the enemy.
I'm not the enemy.
If you want to get up on your hind legs and bark, find out what the hell you're talking about before you are enabling this woman. I'm saying there is a point where you've got to say, we have a lot of work to do with our family. Well, your father's not here to speak for himself, and there's one thing I want to say about Tracy's father when we come back. I wanted to speak a little bit about this father that has been accused because of memories of some really, really terrible things. But there was a letter that I found in the file that was from the Department of the Navy that I thought really spoke a lot about who your father was. It was dated August 4th, 1975, and it says in part, I wish to take this opportunity to express the appreciation of the Navy Department for the many years you have given to your country. The caliber of your service, patriotism, and deportment have been exemplary. Your outstanding contributions to the military are a matter of record and reflect consistent recognition of loyal, efficient, and exemplary service. So there's somebody that doesn't have any emotional investment in this, speaking about this man in terms of who he was and how he conducted himself. And since he's not here, I just wanted to throw that out on his behalf. I'll close this conversation by saying clearly y'all have a lot of work to do, a lot of clearing here, a lot of forgiveness to do, a lot of apologies to make. I will certainly volunteer to provide professional help and support in y'all's doing that, and seeing if we can work some of these things out and maybe get back to a healthier family unit here. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be fantastic.
The one thing that we do have corroboration on is that you were touched inappropriately by your grandfather. I'm sorry that that happened to you, and we want to get you some help making sure you've got your hands around.
I just want my family back.
Your hands around that. Well, we're going to help you continue to work on that. I'd like to thank all of my guests today. A special thanks to Doug Kane, former Supervisory Special Agent of the FBI and President of Risk Control Strategies. I'd also like to thank Jack Tremarco, also former FBI Special Agent and polygraph expert. Dr. Charles Sophie, psychiatrist and member of the Dr. Phil Advisory Board. And I also want to say thank you to our medical team at Doctor on Demand for helping our guests today with a medical consultation. If you at home want to have your own Doctor on Demand, a new app that we have created is available. You can go to Google Play or the App Store and download the Doctor on Demand app. We'll see you next time. So long. Best of luck to you. Best of luck to you. Hopefully this will put an end to this. Great. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.